The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night, and the show on himself, David Rodgers, alongside Byron Bagwell, the Byron Bagwell, and hey, the D is not in there, and the dancing destroyer, Super Dave Holland, along with our very own Bradford County Sheriff, Mr. Gordon Smith. Here he is. Say hello, Gordon, everybody.
Hello, Bradford County.
All right. I got a little something for you, Gordon. I'm going to give to the treat to our fans. This was last year's Cocoa game, Byron. And if you remember correctly, hey, we were down 14-0 in that game. Chasen remembers that. And I'll tell you, he's going to be on. We're going to be talking about a few other things. Down 14-0. Everybody left us for dead. Everybody, y'all are dead. Y'all are dead. And them boys, they, man, bowed up. And they started popping people right and square in the mouth.
The first thing they did is they kicked off to the wrong man.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they? They kicked it to the wrong guy.
Ooh,
Hey, you remember that kickoff went out of the end zone?
Yeah.
It was 72 yards, and I mean, it rolled all the way to the fence. And then they got that offside call. You remember that? And I was like, okay, they're going to kick it from the 35. This kid is going to put total leather again, is going to kick it out of the end zone. Well, there's Jeff Pringle sitting at the 5-yard line, end over end kick.
And I remember looking at you going, they're not going to do this.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, yes, they did.
That's not smart.
And then all of a sudden, it's 95 yards to the house, and we've got the lead 2 seconds into the third quarter, 14-7. And everybody's going crazy, man. That place, those terrible towels and all that mess was going absolute nuts. But, Gordon, I don't know if you've heard this radio call, but I'm going to play it for our audience here. This is me and Byron. Chasen, I'll remind you, of course, you know that punt block. I don't know where you were at. Was you on that? Was you on the special teams there, or was you on the sideline when that happened?
I was on the sideline.
When that happened. Okay. So, I'm going to play this for you, and just listen to how excited we get. All right, here we go.
Oh, my goodness. That's partially blocked. And the tornadoes are going to pick it up. And it's big for Jenkins. And he's taking people all the way to the 35. He's still on his feet. Trentay's still on his feet. To the 33. There he goes. Scoring Brazil. He's got it. That's a tornado touchdown. That's a tornado touchdown. Trentay Jenkins going all the way to the 30-yard line. And then he tore Brazil gets it. And he takes it the other 30 to the house. And it's just a tornado touchdown. And now, we're just down by one. 14-13. Special teams coming alive, ladies and gentlemen. Wow! What a play! Tore Brazil. Trentay Jenkins. And the fireworks are going off here at David Hurst Stadium. And the tornadoes are fired up. Absolutely, David. We may have a sideline warning on Bradford here. That's what it looked like they called.
That'll give you goosebumps.
If that don't give you goosebumps, everybody was like, oh my goodness. Hey, Chasen, even people from Cocoa that was watching that feed, they was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That had to be, Gordon, I know you've been around here a long time. So is Byron, so is Dave. That had to be one of the best games since I've been doing this and watching tornado football that I've ever seen.
That was a great game. I mean, talking to the coaches prior to the game, they expected they was going to beat us by 21 or better.
Oh, yeah.
They said, oh, you haven't faced nobody like us. Appreciate it, Sheriff. Appreciate your hospitality. He said, but we're going to give you a show tonight. When he left, he said, we never expected what we got. He said, y'all got a great football team. Very respectful coach.
Yep.
Of course, they went on the next game, win the state championship. against a very good
good team.
But I tell you, if we played that game again, my bet would be on Bradford County.
Oh, me too, because I know Chasen. I talked with him the last time he was here, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about this just as soon as we get back. They went into the locker room, man, and then all of a sudden, Byron, we seen it when they were coming to the field. It looked different.
I looked at you and said, "Yeah,
There's something. There's a hunger in their eye."
Coach got a hold of them. He got a hold of them.
He got a hold of you guys, didn't he, Chasen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then y'all, as the leaders, y'all said, "Hey, man, this ain't gonna happen in our house."
Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen like that.
No, it wasn't gonna happen like that. And I'll tell you, man, what a great game that was. Bradford played them toe to toe, and I'm telling you, if they play that game 10 times, Gordon, like you said, Bradford wins 6 of them. I'll take defense over offense any day. No!
I have to do this when I'm on the radio. I have to be fair to the referees. There's only been one time that I was not fair to the referees on the radio, and it was in one of the regular season games, somewhere around Live Oak, I think, maybe somewhere right around in that area. I wasn't very fair to them, but I will say this. If you don't push a DB off 5 yards, you don't score that last touchdown.
Nope. Gordon, you've seen it. I've seen it.
I'm going to leave that alone. I like to.
No, but we can talk about it here now.
I like to have lost myself.
Oh,
in the booth when I saw that.
You did.
The referee standing right there watching it. I'm going.
Yeah. The side judge was right there.
They hand fight all the time.
Yeah.
And if both of them are doing it, the referees normally let it go.
Yeah.
But this was not hand fighting. This was a person taking his hand out, sticking it in another.
And pushes him off 5 yards.
Wide receivers sticking his hand.
I mean, Gavin Cook was 7 or 8 yards back behind him before Boda even threw the ball.
And I watched that and I went,
we're going to call that, and we thought they did. Remember, they threw the flag, and then guess what? They threw it on us. They said Cook was holding.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you kidding me? The guy's 7 yards or 8 yards behind him. How could he hold him?"
Okay, look.
Right.
You're going to get little fouls.
We may get that rematch again this year.
We just may, and I hope it's back here at the house again, and I hope Chasen and the boys put it on them this time.
Well, you're going to, as you well know, both of you well know, you're going to get little fouls that the referees don't catch.
Tic-tac.
But when you see somebody stick their arm out and somebody else go 5 yards, a DB go 5 yards back, you got to call that.
You got to call it.
Or else people that know about football are going to look at you and go, something's not right with that.
Yep. So, anyway, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Welcome to the show. Hey, tonight's show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner Racing, and the On the Spot Motorsports media page. Tune in on Thursday nights to hear the latest from the guru of motorsports. Who's that?
That would be Mr. Mitchell Gunner.
There he is right there. And no longer on the spot lawn care maintenance, but that's okay. Hey, I had to give up something, Byron. It was way too much for me. I just couldn't keep doing it anymore, man. So I gave that up, but that's okay. Hey, Harry Business is another sponsor. We'll talk about him, and of course, Miracle Automotive and Towing. Let's get the show started, David, as we always do, with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. I'm going to ask our beholden, our friend, our brother, I'm going to ask Gordon Smith if he'd lead us in our prayer tonight. What do you think?
I think that's a great
Be an honor.
All right.
Heavenly Father, we come for you this evening. We don't ask you for anything but thank you. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for allowing us to live in the greatest country in the world. And those that don't like it, Lord, let them show no direction to lead. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Again, welcome to the show. My name is David Rodgers. To my left right here is the Byron Bagwell. To my right is our very own Sheriff Gordon Smith. We love to have him on. A lot of things we always want to talk about tonight, especially it's going to be some tornado football, but I want to ask him a couple of other things as well. What's going on in the county, what's coming to the county, what's going on a little bit, Gordon. I don't know if you want to get into it, but if you can explain to the people what's going on tonight over at the city a little bit. You don't have to get into it too much or too deep. Along with our dancing destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland, our producer director. Welcome to the show. All right. Let's stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Dave Holland if he'd lead us in our pledge.
On our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right, all right, all right. Byron, you got some quotes of the night, and you said you got a stumper for us.
Yes, I do.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
One of the most cowardly things ordinary people can do is to shut their eyes to facts.
That's a fact.
That is a fact, Jack.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
But people usually would want to prosecute the carrier of facts.
Yep.
If you watch it in real life, if you state the facts, the way we know them that are proven, usually the messenger gets, they get attacked.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
That's the reason most people refuse not to do that or debate it.
Oh.
Give you 2 hints. This is not a founding father,
Okay.
and he was not really involved in politics.
And he was not really involved in politics, okay?
Einstein.
It wasn't Einstein. That's a
pretty
great
good.
guess.
That's a great guess.
What time of the century is it?
Yeah.
1900s.
Oh, in 1900s.
Yeah,
Not
late
really involved in
1900s. Everybody in this room,
John Wayne.
everybody in this room at least has heard, and I'm going to give you another one, of his books.
I'm going to say Bart Levin.
Nope.
No, wait a minute, Marcus.
There was a movie made about his life called The Shadowlands.
Cowboy.
I'm
Nope.
blank.
Was not a cowboy movie, and I'm going to give you another hint. The guy that played him also played, and I forgot the name of that movie. Darn, what is his name? Sir Anthony Hopkins played this gentleman in that movie.
Is he an actor?
No.
Okay.
Ah, gosh, man, you got me stumped here.
I'm stumped too.
I'm stumped on this one.
One more. He's an author,
He's an author.
Oh,
He's an author,
and he's not American.
and he's not American.
I'll leave Stephen King out.
Yeah.
I'm going to say,
Anybody ever heard of the Screwtape Letters?
I haven't.
I'm going.
Guys, come
You lost
on.
me, man.
You lost me too, because
If I tell you the obvious one, everybody.
Well, don't say the obvious one. Somebody's probably already guessed
Because
it right here.
they've made movies out of these books.
Now, Robbie McGee says Poe.
It was not Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
What's that guy down in Keys, in the Keys?
Mitchell Gunner says C.S. Lewis.
Mitchell Gunner would be correct.
Wow.
That would be C.S. Lewis. The famous books that everybody knows by him is the Narnia series.
Jeez.
Lion, the Witch, and the
Well,
Wardrobe.
yeah.
Oh,
Mitchell
If you'd have
Gunner.
said that,
See there,
Mitchell
Mitchell
Gunner.
come through.
Wow.
Mitchell probably looked it up on Google.
Yeah, he was Googling. what
He was
up.
Googling
Either
it.
that or
He
he's
ain't
heard
here.
of the Screwtape Letters.
Yeah, he
because
may- he probably
back
has.
when we went to school, that was one of the books that they had some of us read.
I skipped that day.
Yeah, I skipped that day too.
Well, I mean, pretty much everybody read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh,
Yeah, of course, of course.
That was, you had to.
The Narnia Chronicles too. I mean, yeah, come on, yeah.
And if you haven't seen Shadowlands, I'd highly recommend doing it.
Shadowlands.
Do it with your girlfriend, but bring the tissues for her because it's really about his life and nothing about his books.
Big game.
Really, really sad, and probably the best movie acting-wise that Sir Anthony Hopkins has ever done. And there's a bunch of people now that are going to look at me like I'm crazy. How do you beat Silence of the Lambs? Watch the movie.
All right, you got another one?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Yep.
Not an American, not a founding father, and matter of fact, he's from a place that most Americans don't like very much.
Russia.
Okay.
The simple step of a courageous individual is not to take part in the lie. The simple step of a courageous individual is not to take part in the lie.
Joseph Stalin.
What? He wasn't that smart.
No.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't that smart.
He lived a lie.
He lived a life. You like that?
In a place we don't like.
In a place you don't like.
Okay. Place we don't like.
Well, there's several places we don't like. Middle East?
No, it's Russia. He
Russia.
You actually had it right the first time, the USSR at the time.
Yeah.
At the time. Wrote a book called the Gulag Archipelago.
The Gulag Archipelago.
Alexander Stolznitzky is the guy's name.
What's his name?
Stolznitzky.
Is that common spelling?
Oh, God. Give me a second, I'll tell you how it's spelled. I'm not even going to try that.
I know Smith's hard to spell.
I thought some people might actually know that one because Stolznitzky is actually read by a lot of psychologists, and his work in that particular book has influenced.
Well, I will admit.
I've seen a bunch of psychologists, but I hadn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I will say this, Gordon. He did stump us.
Yeah, he did.
You said you was going to
He's on
stump
a roll
us.
tonight.
I've done Stolznitzky quotes before, and that's a great
You have, and I don't think none of us has guessed it. have we?
Brad Smith had put Lennon on there, but Brad's been to Russia, so he's been over there visiting. He's got, I don't know, he's hanging out with the Smith family over there.
You want another one that's a lot simpler?
Please.
Please, yeah, at least give us a chance here.
This has nothing to do with politics at all.
Okay.
All that glitters is not gold. Excuse me. All that gold it does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are reached by the frost. Not reached by the frost. Sorry, the sing-song has got me messed up tonight. From the ashes of the fire shall be woken. A light from the shadow shall spring. Renewed shall be the blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king.
Well, first of all, that's really long, and so I got some of the words.
It's really sing-song. They've made movies out of this guy's book. Matter of fact, that quote came from one of the books they made of his movies, and they made 6 of them. And they are all extremely long, and they are all in that same sing-song stuff that he just did. And a lot of people love them, and some people don't, because it's hard to read, hard to understand, because of those sing-song stuff.
Not many pictures in a book. I don't see me reading.
They made a cartoon out of one of them.
Did they?
A cartoon that came out when we were young.
Cartoon.
What's a stump night here? He's throwing some wingers at it.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is not a winger at all. It really isn't. The greatest fantasy writer of all time, or considered to be.
Sam said William Shakespeare.
Nope.
Is this Dr. Seuss?
Nope, it's not Dr.
That was a
Seuss.
good guess, though. I was thinking that's
Is it Ronald Dahl?
Nope. Oh, come on now. He's English. Come on, guys.
English?
That's what they're saying.
He's English. The guy is English.
English.
I'm trying to think
Why
of
is
a way
my brain not working today? I don't know, man.
It's the simplest one. It's one everybody knows. It really is a guy that everybody knows. And once I say the first initial, everybody is going to know it. J.
Rollin.
R. R.
R.
J.R. Riggins?
Tolkien.
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 J.R. Tolkien. Yep, you're right.
Y'all taught me for a little bit. You know I didn't read many books.
Okay, yeah, well,
My mother was an English.
Well, yeah, and a
yeah,
librarian.
and I'm
I mean,
surprised. Oh, even Mitchell said no clue on that one.
Oh my goodness.
You know, hey, we must all be brain
I
dead
didn't.
tonight.
I didn't read it very well. Either.
Yeah, when they started,
That's okay.
I started watching
you should do
TV
that.
when they only had one channel. I put the books
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that movie of the Hobbit, cartoon of the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We all saw.
we did.
We did.
Never realized it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never realized that was him though. Okay.
Tolkien. Yeah. The Hobbit.
Well, Brian, you was 3-0 tonight. Yeah.
I need to quit doing stuff like that and digging in there and start getting some.
Yeah.
No, but I'll be honest with you. I would rather hear something like that though. You know, because like I said, did you know that?
He tested my intellect.
Yeah, he is, and mine ain't very high.
I really honestly thought with that first one, some people would get it, and Mitchell got it.
Yeah, Mitchell did get that.
But the second one,
No, that was
unless
pretty
you
tough.
just love Russian literature, and some of it actually is really, really good.
That was a good guess though by Brad.
Yeah,
That was
Brad,
great.
Brad had a good one.
Yeah, I really don't understand how when some of the really good Russian literature come out, Stalin just didn't kill every single good Russian author
Right.
because
He
all
didn't
the,
read or he would have.
well, well, he put Solzhenitsyn in a gulag. So, I mean,
he'd be done.
Yeah. All right, let's move on with the show. Hey, don't go anywhere because here comes the roundtable right after this commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
This is the roundtable. We'll go around the region, around the table with the latest news and notes. Here we go. Brought to you by Harry Business, not in the Deerfoot Plaza anymore, but it is on North US 301, Temple Avenue as we know it. What's the address, Dave?
1605.
1605. Stop by and see Dave and the crew. Home still of the $10 haircut. You can call Dave and company at 904-964-3338. We begin in Alachua County where, hey, County Sheriff Clovis Watson Jr. announced his intention to step down from his position on October 1st, which means he would not even complete his first term in office, Gordon. The sheriff has faced criticism of his union negotiating tactics and his handling of internal affairs investigations during his tenure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's difficult. I've known Sheriff Watson for many, many, many years. We worked for Alachua PD, became a state representative. You know, he was what I call one of the real Democrats. You know, they took all this woke stuff, believed in his country, believed in God, was you know, those type of things. I know he's going through some personal issues and hadn't well, but I spoke with some attorneys and fellow sheriffs today. We knew it was coming down. There's some other issues that may or may not be coming, but so we looked at it to address and you know, wish him all the well. You know, he stayed on 2 months. I know there's probably some health issues there that he wants to address and look at, and keep me in our prayers. I don't know all the issues, and a lot of people are speculating, and a lot of people, you know, it doesn't have to be true to be good. We all know that. We grew up in a small town. Everybody's famous in a small town.
That's right.
So there's a lot going around everybody's, and some of it may be true, a lot of it probably not true, but in the end, if we wait and don't speculate, we'll probably get the truth.
I did hear who's going to be filling in for him as the acting sheriff, Byron Bagwell.
Byron Bagwell.
Oh,
We're gonna give him a
Sheriff
gun.
of
We're gonna give him
Alachua County.
We're going to give him a gun.
We're going to give Byron a gun and
No
a
bullets.
badge.
No bullets.
No bullets. Hey, you're going to have to shoot what? Chewing gum. Or Skittles.
Slingshot.
Well, walkie-talkie. You going to carry the big stick? You going to carry the big stick? Okay.
somebody needs to in that town.
what would
telling
your
you.
first command be?
Well, what would your first deal be, Byron? Don't, never mind. A seaplane attempted to take off from Crystal Lake couldn't quite get the elevation needed and ended up crashing and landing earlier this afternoon. Clay County Sheriff's deputies and Clay County Fire Rescue responded and confirmed no significant injuries. The FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating. A Marion County man was arrested for impersonating an officer after sheriff's deputies a suspicious vehicle with police lights on last night. Deputies say Derry Lambert, 52 of Bellevue, was speeding through Summerfield in a pickup truck with a fake police siren blaring. A deputy nearby saw the vehicle and was suspicious because no emergency calls were active in the area. Did this guy think nobody was watching?
That occurs more than you know, and it goes right back to safety with your wife, your daughter, even as a man. I know we all think we're tough, but you know, pull into a well-lit area, turn your lights on, reduce your speed, let them know they're back there, and if you fear, dial 911 and say, hey, I've got an officer behind me.
Yep.
Is it legit? Look, we all have sped.
Sure.
Every night if I get caught, guess what? I got to pay my dues.
You got to pay the piper.
You know, and nobody likes getting stopped. We're always in a hurry. It's a go, go, go world. You know, kind of deal. So, you know, if you don't know, don't stop, because this, all you gotta do is Google each day. Somebody somewhere want to be and God knows why, but they want to be the police.
Yeah. Well, here's the rest of the story. As you just said, the deputy pulled over the vehicle inside. Lambert was wearing a gold badge. He told the deputy he was with the U.S. Marshals responding to a shooting in Marion Oaks. In the vehicle, deputies found a pistol and drugs. He was booked into the Marion County Jail on charges including impersonating an officer, obstructing police, drug possession, smuggling, and use of a firearm during a felony. And Mr. Lambert will be the deputy in the county jail or in prison. He will be I guess he may be the sheriff.
You know what kind of bird don't fly?
Yes, sir.
Jailbird.
A jailbird.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Byron, here we go. Hey, we're off the rails again. Hey, bring him up. First Baptist Church of Start will be hosting a back to school Fill the backpack on Saturday. You remember Kurt Miracle was asking about this. First Baptist Church of Start will be hosting a back to school Fill the Backpack on Saturday, August 5th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the church on Jefferson Street. The Fantastic Fire Brigade's Jamblins will be providing entertainment and music for the event, and it is open to the public. Gordon, some people last week asked me about some of these backpacks and things like that, giveaways and stuff. Do you know of any others that are going on right now at this point?
I don't. A lot of the schools, we've given some book bags to the different schools that are in need. We take drug forfeiture money, the money from the bad guys. We purchase book bags and those type of things to go back to school. And if there's a kid anywhere that you know of that doesn't have a book bag or supplies to go in it, you let us know. We'll work diligently to make sure that those book bags they're received. But most of the schools are doing something. The teachers know more than we do. They have the one-on-one interactions with these. So we trust the teachers. And let me tell you, they do a really good job. These teachers, they're not teaching to get rich. They're teaching because they love kids. And we work with them each and every day. And there's a lot of different community events and get-togethers where the community comes together. Several of the churches I know have been doing it all through the summer. And First Baptist Church is going to have theirs. So if you've got somebody, go down there and they're packing the book bags, those kind of things. All the schools will have some extras in case there's a kid that shows up that doesn't know. Awesome. We'll have a book bag. We don't want them to be, of course, it's not like you took a bunch of books like we used to.
No.
It's a Chromebook for the most part. And
for the most part.
Books. You're not getting them way down.
And mainly what? Some of these, I guess, spiral notebooks and things like that. Yeah.
It's a different world than we went to school.
And I'm sure the First Baptist Church will take any donations of book bags.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the kids can
They'll help.
Yeah.
They do a great job down at First Baptist, and they're reaching out, trying to reach out into the community. And the thing is getting the message out, just like we're doing tonight, and to make sure you get it out there and share it on your social media and people can share it.
Absolutely. Finally, okay, go ahead, B. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and finish what, and then I'll ask the sheriff a question.
All right. Finally, it's time for the recap recall featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week we have breadsticks, which Byron loves. I guess that's going to be out for him. Treadmills and solar energy shingles. Dave, you'll need to check that. All right, here we go. Rich Products of Buffalo, New York is recalling Members Mark breaded mozzarella sticks. Uh-oh, you're done. Whoa. Sold at Sam's Club around the country because they may contain undeclared egg and soy. Customers with questions may call Quality Assurance at 800-356-7094. No more mozzarella sticks for you, at least in that brand.
I don't have a problem with soy or egg.
Me neither.
I didn't either, but I got grandkids that have allergies. Never thought.
Okay, so there we go. All right.
Egg allergies.
That's true.
And mine eat all the time. I buy the mozzarella sticks, and matter of fact, I got one grandson. We have to buy the big shredded mozzarella. He said it tastes better than the stick.
Yeah.
And he'll just have a bowl of.
Will he eat it out of the bag or just put it in a bowl?
No, he'd eat it out of the bag. He said, but I'll catch him in the refrigerator. He's eating out of the bag.
True Fitness. So here we go, Gordon. True Fitness is recalling the Showrunner 2 console sold with fitness equipment due to an exposed area of the wireless charging board can come in contact with other internal wiring, posing a fire hazard. Customers with questions may call toll-free Byron at 1-800-538-2740.
Wow.
I about burnt my house running on mine, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I set it on fire.
Let me write that down.
Let
me write that down. That's what I was going to say. I'm going to put that under the lie here.
Please forgive me.
GAF Energy is recalling Timberline solar energy shingles because the electrical components and the shingles can malfunction, posing a fire hazard as well. Customers with questions may call toll-free 1-888-838-5567. Yeah. There you go. David, better check your solar panels. All right, here we go. These products plus other recalls can be found on the CPSC and FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we will feature recalls each week that could pose a threat to you. What do we have, David? Now, here's your on-the-spot weather. Dave, do you have it for us? No. We'll come back to that at the end.
Austin.
Well, yeah, Austin. Did you fire Austin?
I'm telling you, but he did give us an update.
Yeah, he did give us an update, and I've got his forecast that he sent me. I'll go over that at the end of the show.
It's a busy time of year for Austin.
Yes, it is. Very busy time. All right.
Gordon, what possesses people to lose their freedom over stupidity?
Ignorance.
I mean,
Ignorance. I don't want to call people stupid, because stupid is when you know better and you still do it anyway. But ignorance sometimes is not knowing, and they follow. They follow. And most people do not want to be assertive in expressing, their rights,
right,
without infringing on the rights of others. Because we all got more in common than we're ever going to have what's apart. But people will listen to a lie and just sit there and listen to it instead of going, because people destroy the carrier of facts. And if we don't really know, we don't want to offend everybody, we want to be good neighbors. It's like somebody signing a petition. They'll come up to you, will you sign this? Half people don't read it. It's because they're your neighbor. You sign it.
Right.
I deal with it all the time. Well, I really ain't against that. Or, hey, that sign's in my yard because my other neighbor put it there and I want to make my neighbor mad. We don't want to stand up for what our rights are. Even though we grow up with them, we're told that. But now we're being indoctrinated through social media. Now the government has become the big controller where churches did. The government has taken the place of churches.
Right.
In a lot of places, not necessarily in our region, but the government decided, well, that's our job to do that. We politicize it. And once we politicize it, so people say, well, I'd like to speak up, but then, I can't fight City Hall because if I speak up, I'm going to get, everybody worries about how other people are going to view them.
Right.
Social media has magnified that.
Oh, yeah.
10,000 times over.
Oh, yeah.
You can speak the truth on there, and social media court's going to be held.
They'll destroy you too, or try to.
They will.
Yeah, I just look at.
So you don't comment on a lot of things because you go, that's totally wrong. I can't tell you the number of times my kids or even me or my wife will say, I said, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
They're going to eat you alive. And so, when Facebook court's in session, it don't have to be true to be good, baby.
No,
it's being held, and most of it you read, when I read about an incident or something that's taken place, the majority of it is not even true. Sometimes it's not even close to the truth.
Close to the truth.
Well, and I'm glad that you guys said that because, like you said, whether you speak it one way or the other way, it doesn't matter. You're going to be held in social media court, no matter what you say.
And you can correct somebody.
On this side, or you can correct somebody. Yep.
And then it doesn't matter if they don't want the truth.
They don't want the truth.
We Google what we want our truth to be. Let's face it.
Yeah, or the media it tells them what they should think. And
that's everything we do.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Well, we're all guilty of that. How many times have you bought something that you've seen in a magazine or a buddy told you, or we watched it on TV and you go and buy it? Look under your bathroom shelf. How many of them products you bought because it was going to do something?
Yep.
That wrinkle cream didn't work. That they told me was going to work. I bought shoes and you go to wear them and go, well, they were supposed to be the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or this vitamin is going to make me 6 inches taller, or
Right.
whatever it is, or it's going to make hair grow. That don't work either. There's still a bunch of in my cabinet. So what I'm telling you, we all fall victim sometimes to marketing, advertising. Advertisers spend billions of dollars every year knowing what advertisement to place on your TV.
Absolutely.
If you ever talked about it, then go to Google and say there's an ad about the new vehicle.
Or go on Facebook or whatever.
It's
listed.
That Alexa in your house, because
Yep.
you got Siri. If you activate Siri's continually listening.
Yep.
Our body cams on our officers, we can go back, our in-car cameras, we go back time lapse. It's always recording.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
There's nothing private anymore. I had a discussion with a lobbyist just today about some of the issues about people going and getting autopsy photos. And now people are grabbing body cams. Here's what I get as the sheriff. I see the lawman go to your house. I'm your neighbor. So tomorrow I'm calling and say, hey, sheriff, down at the sheriff's office, I'd like to public records request about 6 p.m. last night. You showed up at David Rodgers' house. I'd like to have body cam videos. So now your neighbors know what you're arguing about, or if you was talking about them because they don't like you. And the next thing you know, it's on Facebook because you said something about so-and-so down at the schoolhouse, or you said so-and-so down at the Jiffy store. So that's how we're creating enemies of each other. They're using the public record domain to destroy lives.
Destroy lives.
Yeah.
You know, now we're all truth seekers, and a lot of things need to be public. I'm not saying that they don't.
Right.
Body cams, I was the first in the area. We did voice recording before body cams come along. They keep my complaints way down. The officers know they're being recorded. But there are times of privacy in people's homes. When I step in your house, you know, there's things that doesn't need to be when I ride up on the scene of your loved one that's been killed in a tragic accident or is contemplating, you know, God forbid, suicide. Why does all that have to be made public? We've got to get stricter on things because we're way behind in what social media and all does now. And people go on YouTube and they're getting rich, filthy rich, by editing these body cams. A politician gets arrested, a movie star gets arrested, somebody, and they put their own twist to it, and whoever their followers are, they're making money off something they got publicly for free. You know, we've got. I don't know what those rules are. I'm not that person, expert in it. I don't know what needs to be done, but something has to be done to protect the rights of our citizens. Hold social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know, before you had to prove who you were. Now, like us, and now on the sheriff's office, we set the settings so somebody can't create a Facebook profile and go and comment. Because that's what I do. If I want to comment something ugly, them keyboard cowards out there that will hide behind your phones.
No, a bunch of them.
They'll do it. They'll create a. They don't want. I live there. Yeah, that sheriff. I was in his jail. I don't like it. Or he put whatever. He took my lunch money when we were kids. Whatever it may be, kind of thing. I can create a fake Facebook profile and go in there and say some slanderous things. Sure. That are nowhere near the truth, and they get shared 500 times. You'll notice even on our sheriff's office Facebook, I say, I'm tired of policing it. We'll put no comments, and they let them share it and comment. Then they own it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that if you just create a Facebook profile to do that within the last, I think it's 72 hours or something, to be able to do that. Because the social media drive-through is so fast that in 3 days they about forgot.
They forgot, yeah.
Something else more interesting's come on. You know, it's like when I get my 5 minutes of shame. We do bad things. We've made mistakes. We're in the people business. We make mistakes. I've had to apologize. I carry there's chapstick in the desk door at my office. There's chapstick in my pocket because there are times we have to apologize. And people say, Sheriff, why is so and so mad at you? Because I got deputies. Whatever they do reflects back on me, and we're not perfect. And we have to learn to be human and apologize. And I'll be honest with you. The majority of people appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
They don't expect it when you do it.
Yeah.
Now there's some people, no matter how bad you apologize, they're upset, and it's and I get it. I get it. I've been there. But you know, that's the better part. So it's not a perfect world. We're not a perfect agency. When things are good, I get to take credit. When things are bad, I still got to be man enough to take credit for it and say, when we mess up, we fess up, and then we fix up. That's 3 simple rules to live by.
Well, as long as you've been the sheriff, what is it, 20 plus years now, right?
It seems like it. There's days that seem like it. All the roads haven't been paved. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dirt roads.
Yeah, and you're still learning as you go.
Every day.
Even after
every day. No different in my home life. No difference dealing with my kids. Try to teach your kids you're not perfect. You just love them. You know, and you try to want better for them. I don't want to make my mom say, I just want my kids to be better than me.
Right.
I got a wife that doesn't agree with most things I do. We still sleep in the same bed every night. She thinks everybody's nice and kind, and she can talk more than me. But at the end of the day, we still sleep in the same bed every night. And, so keep her in her prayers. She lost her grandfather at 94.
Yeah, I've seen that on Facebook
too. She'll be flying out. That's a tough time for her. You know, it was her biological, and she met him 24 years ago. She's got great parents, and Betty and Roman Alvarez. Met her biological, and it's been great. So her and my daughter and my youngest grandson will be flying out there tomorrow afternoon to spend time to go through those services. But, you know, all that aside, we live in a great community. I still consider Bradford County the heartbeat of Florida, crossroads to America. We live the kind of life that most people really, at the end of the day, when you travel around the country, they're envious. We're still rural. We want to protect our way of life. Even what I call my liberal friends are more conservative than other places I've traveled. And they go, what the heck's wrong, kind of deal. We live in a great community, but you know, we can all have differences. My neighbors and I have differences. But we all get along. We all help each other. We look out after each other because we're able to do that. In a fast-paced major cities, they don't get that luxury.
No.
They don't. So we're just trying to protect our way of life, but yet we're still central enough and close enough to be able to enjoy the things that people travel from all over the world to come to Florida for. You know, an hour and 15 from the beach, an hour from downtown Jacksonville, 30 minutes from the greatest, SEC football team in the country.
Which one is that?
Next to Marshall's in West Virginia, because that's where my kinfolk are from. So, but the University of Florida.
Would that be Tallahassee?
Tallahassee. Go north till you smell it. Go west till you step in it. Is that what it?
That's not what I heard.
He said SEC.
Now,
Hey, now I did
Now,
say
I told you me and the wife got a mixed marriage.
Yeah, of course, she's a Seminole fan, and that's what I like about
And
Stephen.
even when I win, I lose. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're right. Now, I will tell you what Byron said, and you can go on the radio broadcast and take a listen to this. It was during the Cocoa game. He did say, we were talking about Cocoa getting their tail whipped by St. Thomas Aquinas. You know what Byron said? That dadgum St. Thomas Aquinas team could have beat the Florida Gators.
I've been there. That's a heck of a school, brother.
Boy, I'm telling you what.
If you play football, that's where you want to go.
You want to go. Yeah, they're always ranked in the top 2 or 3 in the country.
In the country because they're just. But you know, it goes back to their school's very disciplined.
Yep.
Their coaching staff's disciplined. Our new coach last year brought back something that we needed, some discipline. Yep. You know, look what he's done in a year's time. Kids, whether we like, look, I was probably one of the most rebellious kids in school. You know, I didn't like authority, didn't like nothing. Thank God for a mean mama. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and she didn't spare the rod, I can promise you.
No.
But I didn't get beat as many times as I probably should have. And when you get older, you start realizing that was love. I wasn't abused by no shape, form, or fashion. No. You know, it's just everybody's got their different philosophy. And the guy that came out and says all these rules you're not supposed to do never had kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. He wrote all the women's magazines. He was the great doctor and never had a kid in his life. I'm thinking, dude. I'm trying to think of his name. It slipped my tongue. But he was my generation was the guy that was the guru of. That kind of changed us. Things that become normal. Yeah.
Dr. Spock?
No. Yes, Dr. Spock. Not Spock.
Not Spock for Star Trek.
So, you know, so we learn, y'all. We live in a great community. We really do.
Yeah, we
From
do.
our athletes to our high school, we're always been somewhere there. Our kids, a lot of times that's the only way for them to get out of school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a way to get out of our community. Not that most of them don't come home, because we like them to come home.
Yep.
That's the reason I like controlled growth. I like my kids to get educated and go to college, but I want them to have a job here. I don't want my kids to be too far away.
You know, you're right. You know, these kids, they go to school here, they play football here or sport here, and they go on to do something, you know, get their degrees, and then they come back and they open up a business or they're working for something.
We got them as teachers, business,
lawyers.
They're productive in our community, and they're making a difference, but it's a positive influence for our youth.
Yeah.
They are positive influences for our youth, because you go off and see part of the world that most people, let's just face it, don't ever get to see.
Yeah.
I got a son in California. He's back home right now for 2 weeks, but I'm jealous because he's seeing things that I'll never.
That's why I was glad for the service,
Gordon. You know what I'm saying? If you can't, the service, but this way out for sports. And have you ever noticed when your sports are doing well? Think about the last couple of years. Our grades in our school are increasing.
Yes.
Sports are doing well. It's all got to have hand in hand, you know, to offer something for these kids, because people get energized. Yeah. It's an energy. Sports have been since the beginning of time, and it energizes. And when you have that, if you ever notice, the highest academic schools still have, I don't care if it's Harvard, Yale, they got sports.
They got sports.
Yeah, they do. A lot of those kids, they wouldn't get them there if they didn't have the sports to bring them to the school. As they told me when I took state and local government at Harvard, can't spell it, but I went there for a short period. But you know, they said, we don't make you any smarter. We just recruit the smartest people.
Right.
Think about
that.
That's always stuck with me. But a lot of those kids wouldn't go there if there weren't sports, because Boston College is right there. There's other places they would go and get that degree. But they come because maybe I couldn't play at UF. Maybe I couldn't play at Marshall. Or maybe I could. How do you think of Nashville when we got to go every year and play Vanderbilt? Yeah. I couldn't get into Vanderbilt. All 4 of my years together with that.
Shoot, I couldn't get into Vanderbilt. There ain't no way on God's green earth I could get in there.
Sports in our school system is important, which brings academics. It's all got to play hand in hand like a well-oiled machine. You can't have football without cheerleaders.
No. Right.
They're just important. You can't have it without the band.
Yeah.
Think about the years we couldn't hardly get a band group together, man. We
can't have it without the boosters.
I'm telling you, you got to have it.
It's got to, like you said, it all works hand in hand.
But when you get one thing going, you look at our state championships now, basketball, women's, girls, now football, where we've been this year, we haven't been that far since 1985.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So. All right,
85 was a good year.
85
was a great year, but I'm
going to tell you what I'm going to do.
I'll stop.
As we're getting into the show. Dave, what time are we on local time here? We're about 7:48? That was just a guess.
We are at
Wow, 7:46. I sort of knew it. 7:47 local time, Eastern time. I'm David Rodgers, right along with the Sheriff Gordon Smith, the Byron Bagwell, the Dancing Destroyer himself, Super Dave Holly. Now, I'm going to bring our guest on. Let's bring a couple of chairs in. You want to go to a commercial break? The weather? Oh, you got it. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, brother. I was trying to catch the sign there. Let me do the weather real quick. Dave said he brought it up. Let's get to our weather right now.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Here we go with our weather. The OTS allergy forecast. Top allergen right now is grasses. Tuesday, or Wednesday, excuse me, tomorrow we're going to have 5.1. Well, Thursday we're going to have 7.1. Dave, if you could go back to that for me real quick. Sorry, I know you were trying to get our guest in. If you'll go back to that pollen count for me, Dave, real quick. It turned on me there real quick. There we go. Thursday is 7.1. Friday is 6.4. Saturday is 6.6. So allergies are going to be up just a little bit. Like I said, the top allergen is grasses. Let's look at our forecast for the next 4 days. Wednesday, we got a 60% chance of rain. Scattered showers each day, high of 92, low of 73. On Thursday, we got a 50% chance of rain, high of 92, low of 74. Friday, 40% chance of rain, 93 for a high and 73 for a low. And on Saturday, another 40% chance of rain, 93 for a high, 72 for a low. Scattered showers each day, Byron. This is making it hard for us to be able to work in our yards like we need to, because rain seems to be coming every morning, every afternoon, or every evening, or all 3 days, or all 3 times. It just depends. But we'll go back over that forecast. That's your OTS 4-day forecast. Hey, look at here, Sheriff Gordon Smith just took a little bit of a break. And who do I got in with me right now? We got our co-host, the Byron Bagwell, the Dancing Destroyer back here, Super Dave Holland, producing and directing the show. And I've got this young man. He was on with us a couple of weeks ago. He is the middle linebacker, starting middle linebacker for your Bradford Tornadoes, Chasen Clark. Chasen, who do I got over here to my left? You introduce this young man.
Reese Wainwright, another one of our backers.
Yes, sir.
A real good player.
Number 40.
Yes, sir.
Number 40. I know that. We know that, don't we, B?
That's it.
Are you going to keep that number, or are you going to another?
I'm going to keep it.
You're going to keep it.
Yes, sir.
So Reese is joining us. Again, welcome, guys, into the show. I know Gordon, we've been talking about several different things. We talked tornado football. You've heard some of the clips and things like that. So just a reminder of what happened last year and what we got coming this year. But first and foremost, let's talk about what's coming up this Saturday, August the 5th, that you, and is Reese going to be involved as well? So Reese will be involved as well.
Yes.
Tell us what you got coming up.
We'll have a youth football camp. We just closed registration at 80 people, 80 kids. So we'll have a youth camp. Basically, we'll have a bunch of the high school boys teaching a bunch of kids in the community and around to play football, you know. Go out there, have a good time, have some fireworks at the end, and have a little bit of competition.
All right. Reese, what are you going to be doing out there? What are you going to be helping on? Have you got a job yet? Has he put you to work yet?
So I think we'll be helping the linebackers.
You're going to be helping the linebackers? Okay, I got you. What are you going to be doing, Jason? About the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much just trying to make sure everything keeps in the same thing and make sure everything runs smoothly.
All right, and who else you got helping? You got the one-man wrecking crew helping you as well?
Yes, sir.
Torn Brazil, Khalil?
Yes, sir.
And who else?
Dejon Shanks.
Dejon.
A kid from Santa Fe named Cam.
Okay.
And I believe that's all who will be coaching position. And then we'll have a bunch of the players out there helping run the team.
Good. Okay. So, tell me how. Of course, no more, guys. Okay. He's got 80. He's full right now. You ain't taking no more right now, right?
We closed it.
You're closed it. So, no more kids for that youth camp. Tell them where it's going to be. Tell them the times and things that are going to go on there.
Yes, sir. It'll be at David Hurst Stadium. Registration will start at 5:30. We'll start all the fun stuff at 6:30. Concessions will be open, and at 9 o'clock we'll have some fireworks ended off.
Wow, all right. That sounds like a really fun time, a really good time. So how are you going to start off the camp? Give me a little illustration of what's going to happen
I got
there.
you. All the kids are going to show up. We'll have a bunch of people in a bunch of 10 shirts, repping everything, make sure everybody looks the same. Show up, everybody's going to sign in, make sure everything's organized, so nothing gets all out of whack, especially when we're dealing with 6-year-olds. And then after that, they're all going to run together. go out, stretch some, have a big talk at Tornado, big resemblance there.
Right.
Then after that, they're going to go have stations. It's going to be a circuit where they basically just sit there and learn Bradford's best. And then after that, we're going to have a thing called Tornado Ball, which is basically ultimate frisbee with football.
Oh,
Hey, yeah.
Hey, we may have to go check that out. Does it cost anything to get in for us?
No, sir, it's all free.
It's all free.
Yep, and everybody in the community is welcome. We're going to have fireworks. Concessions are going to be open, so that's the thing, just to bring everybody together.
Wow, and that starts at?
6:30.
6:30. So 6:30 at David Hurst Stadium. These young men right here is going to be putting on a youth football camp for our youth, and it sounds like it's going to be fun. Sounds like it's going to be entertaining. Sounds like there's going to be a lot of things to do. I want to talk to you a little bit, Reese, and I'll get to you here in just a second. I want to talk to you a little bit about you being a senior here for Bradford this year, and what last year brought. Reese was on the team as well. What last year's team brought. It was a really good year. One game away from the state championship. This year, I know everybody says, well, it's sort of the same team, but it's really not. Each team is different every year, isn't it, Jason?
Definitely.
Even though you got returning players, the teams are different. From last year to what you see this year, what can you take from last year to elevate you into this year?
I'd say we take the lesson from last year. I'd say we definitely got taught a lesson last year is that if we stay disciplined and we, show up to the game hot and heavy,
Right.
it'll usually go in our favor. Leading into this year, I think what's going to change the most, we're going to show a lot of humility. Go into the game a little bit different. Make sure that every play is the same.
Right.
Right now, what the coach is preaching to us is Rooster here. We hear it about 50 times a day. Is that every play is 4th down and 1. Every play is 4th down and 1. Is that no matter what it is, it's your everything. You hear everybody say it. No matter where you go, it'll be a youth camp. It'll be anything. And you hear coaches always say, "Give me your all every play, 110%." But most of them, honestly, I wouldn't even say most of them even mean it. They're just saying it to put words in their mouth. But we really found out that we actually were meaning it this year. Every play is 4th down and 1.
Good deal, good deal. Where's the strength of the team this year, Jason? Is it still the defense? Is it offense? Is it a little bit of both? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Byron even said it on several radio shows when we do our pregame shows on the radio. We talked about the defense because the defense was prominent. There's no doubt. One of the best defenses in the state, if not the best defense in the state, to me and to all these guys here. But you also talked about the offense. The offense put up numbers, Byron, and you said that. Don't just talk about the defense, David. Hey, the offense put up significant numbers.
Yeah, I love to watch good defensive plays. I
Absolutely.
love those big hits. I always have. I love old school football.
Hey, what'd you say about him when he made that one hit? Jason Clark had bad intentions. Is that what you said?
Mr. Bad Intentions.
Mr. Bad Intentions. When you popped that receiver over there in the Cocoa game.
Look. You have to give the offense their props. They were running the ball really well. They were pretty well balanced with the run and the pass for the most part.
Yeah.
And they just played really well. The whole team played really well. The defense was dominant because it was that type of defense. But those guys on offense played hard too. I mean, that play in Swanee where running back come down the oh man.
Go ahead.
So he breaks loose and comes down the sideline, the near sideline, okay? And a DB goes to stop him. And you're talking about 160.
You said he got trucked, is what you said. Okay.
That was worse than a trucking. He ran him slap over. I mean, it looked like he hit a 60-pound child out there instead of a 200-pound DB. I mean, he just destroyed him. And I could talk for a little while. Oh my God.
Well, we both could. It was like, oh my goodness. You remember? But there was a lot of plays like that. Let me ask you, Reese. I know you sat and watched and you got into the ball games as much as they put you in. But do you think losing Manny Covey last year hurt us in that playoff run? Do you think if we'd have had Manny and Willie, do you think it'd have made a difference? I know you want to say yes because, of course, you're a Bradford Tornado. But do you think it would have made that much of a difference? Keeping maybe them guys off balance.
I think it would have, but I also think having Willie step up is going to help us this year as well.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Sheriff, do you got a question for any of these guys?
No, I've been on that sideline many a game, and
Yeah.
It's just to watch the young men that we have,
Mm-hmm.
the support they get from the crowd. We had crowds we hadn't seen in a long time. We all had the same thing there. We all had that winning. We went into the season saying we can win.
We can win.
We
Yes.
started with the opening thing when everybody thought we were beat. And this year when GHS showed up, we was able to pull that off with GHS, and that's no slouch team. They
No,
were the same thing they did
not at
last
all.
year
No.
In their division into 4,
Right.
whatever they call it now. We have just done so much with putting not only a good staff together for our young
Yes.
people, but it starts with the administration
Mm-hmm.
to be able to allow the coaches and people to do things. But it's all because of the character, and with the character of everybody we got coming together has really made a difference. And you're starting to see it academically. You're starting to see it in our students. Our calls on campus are way down for fights and stuff. I mean, we looked at numbers and going, this is unheard of.
It's brought the school and the community
We're
together
like
as
a family. We can fight amongst ourselves and
yeah,
squabble, but at the end of the day, you don't come messing with us.
Right, don't come at right.
This is, you're getting people pre-gaming now. You're getting people talking about it in the restaurants, the barber shop. Everybody's asking about it. Football's a gladiator sport. I mean, it's a gladiator sport. There's no other word in the world can you come and football still brings. Where can you get somebody not go to jail?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the football field.
There's only one other sport I know of that you can do that in, and we don't play that down here.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That other sport, and hockey's fun to watch. But, and they got sticks. But, you know what I'm saying? But, here's my thing. It's such an overwhelming sport that now other countries are interested. Our professional teams are going out, even some of our college teams, and it's growing like soccer did around the world. We're finally starting to outgrow that because people say, that's an exciting, and it is. It's a dangerous sport, but you know what?
Yeah.
Driving down the road's dangerous too.
Yes, it is. And we bring those games not only on the radio, but we bring them Facebook Live. And I'm gonna tell you two gentlemen something right here. I know you don't get a chance to see it unless you go back and there's a replay or something on Facebook. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you have people. We've had hits. Dave, you can attest to it. Byron, you can attest to it. Gordon, when you listen in. We have people and alumni that listen from Kodiak, Alaska.
Yes, sir.
Kodiak, Alaska. San Francisco, California. We've seen this because they say where they're from.
From the Bahamas.
From the Bahamas that listens to Tornado football. So Tornado football, everybody has brought this up to another level. I mean, this is
just locally. How many local people come that don't have any kids or grandkids playing ball?
Right.
That show up on Friday night. I can't tell you the number of phone calls I get. Hey, is a game here?
Yeah.
We rained out. Hey, what's the football team doing? And you watch that gate and you watch people walk through. They don't have a soul playing.
Nope.
But it's their home. They grew up here. They played ball here. They went to school here. They come to support. And what I'm seeing is that again, they're coming out to see. And spending their to get in the gate and a hot dog or something, they're spending that here, putting it back into for something to do on a Friday night instead of go to the movies or to get
inexpensive Friday night.
It's an inexpensive Friday night, and you're coming out and supporting the team. So that's what it's. And now you're seeing it at basketball games. Love basketball. I was a basketball football player, so when those two seasons aren't in, I'm kind of lost. Couldn't play tennis because I couldn't control my ball. You know what I'm saying? Hitting it back.
Oh, you hit rainbows.
Yeah, I just hit
I got
baseball.
you.
Baseball scared me. That ball coming at 80 mile an hour scared me to death. But I couldn't. I always struck out. So take one for the. Just lean into it. And
take one for the. Yeah.
Get us a base, Gordon. Lean into the ball. Kind of deal. But what you're seeing is that excitement in the last couple of years that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yes.
But this town really, even in our worst seasons, and I've been on that sideline since played ball since 1985, and the county's first school we call a resource officer back then. Being on that with the team, that's kind of reliving my youth. But to watch people come through there, they don't have anybody on that field, anybody on the sideline, and they're spending it with our youth, our young men and women. That says a lot for our community.
Did you just say it was 1985? You said it was 1985. Don't do that to us.
Back to the Future.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't do that, because I remember that.
So down 14-0, and what Gordon says, it just says the truth. Down 14-0, these guys were. Everybody, everybody, on Facebook, I seen it. Bradford's going to get their, I'm going to say it, Bradford's going to get their ass kicked They're taking a whooping. Yep, okay.
That's not what I was saying. That's not what I was
we didn't say that.
That's
now,
not what I was saying. The first thing that came out of my mouth to have is they better not kick off
to number 4.
To number 4.
To number 4. And what they do?
They kicked off
to number 4.
And I looked
guess
at
what? That changed the whole complexity of the game. Even though I seen that fire and that burn in y'all's guys' eyes, I knew there was a different vibe. And what did we say, B? We kept saying it. Don't kick it to number 4. Don't kick it to number 4. And that's 2 Friday nights in a row that he did that.
All year long, I watched that. Coaches do that. And I went,
what are you doing?
After he's done that twice, I mean, you can understand if you're still kicking to
we were like, what are
once.
you doing?
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I would kick the ball out of bounds
before I kick it to number 4. You know what I mean? Now, question for you and you. Who's the number 4 this year?
I think it's 6 right now.
Is it going to be 6? Is it going to be 6? Yeah. How about Willie? Go get some kickoff returns.
Yeah, he's better.
Yeah, and Willie, you know, where Jip just had pure speed. Jip just had pure speed. There was no doubt about it. But Willie, what will he do, Byron? He'll truck you. I don't care if he's going down the sideline and there's somebody at the 35-yard line and he's got to beat him and he's going to make that tackle. Willie Pollard is going to truck that man to go to the end zone. I assure you of that.
He's got speed too, Dave.
Yes,
there were
he
several
does.
times last year I looked at you and went, God, what a hit! But that's not what he should have done because he would have been in the open field after that.
Yes, he
But
should.
he looked for the contact.
He
hit
did,
somebody,
and sent
and I was
somebody.
sitting there going, all he had to do was take one step one way and one step juke the other way, and he'd have been gone.
And he'd have been gone. How much does Willie weigh? About 180, 170?
150.
It's
I think
160.
160. 160, and this guy runs like Eric Dickerson.
158.
He brings
158 is what I think he weighed last year.
yeah.
And I kept on telling you at the end of the year, if this kid ever puts on 20 pounds and keeps that speed, there's not going to be very many linebackers that want any part of that at all.
You're right. All right. Who is the secret, I don't want to say, who is the up-and-coming player that me, Byron, Gordon, and Dave may not know about? Who can we look at to make an impact? I know Reese is one. I would say Reese Wainwright would be it as well. Are you going to play some offense or just strictly defense?
I can tell you who I would
Linebacker?
use.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can tell you who I would use as a secret weapon, and he's sitting on the other side of you, David.
Yeah, well, he's one of the leaders of the team with him and Brazil.
How many times did we say that?
Oh, yeah, we did. Run that seam pattern, and Clark and Brazil is wide open down the seam because nobody covers it.
Nobody covers
Nobody covers it. I don't know how many times it was wide open. You'd line up in that wingback position or that flanker position, and I'm like, he's wide open. Jeremiah, please throw it. Just a little dump pass. He's gone 65 yards to the house. But, you know, you
if not,
can't
he's
say
going to make
everything.
somebody pay for it at the end, and I'm going to enjoy that too.
Okay. Hey, you know, which up-and-coming, freshmen last year is going to play on the varsity squad and may make an impact? I know we know about Reese. Reese will make an impact.
Mid-season, I think you'll start seeing Kyron come through.
Really? Okay.
I think so.
He'll start. Is he going to play? Is he going to play some defense? Is he going to play some offense?
He's going to be playing O-line.
He's going to be playing O-line. Okay. Yeah, that's a big body.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
How big would you say he
I
is?
think another, he's like 260.
Yeah.
As a 10th grader?
Yeah. Another on the O-line is Ridge.
Oh, yeah.
Bradley.
Oh, Ridge Bradley. Yes, Ridge Bradley.
He's going to sophomore year, and he's starting center as of right now.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And what is he at now?
Weight-wise,
Yeah.
probably 230.
He's about Easton size.
Okay.
He's about Easton size.
As a sophomore.
Okay. As a sophomore.
As a sophomore.
Goodness
What about
gracious.
running backs? Are we going to get to see?
Okay, so we're going to have running back by committee. We talked a little bit about that, right? We're going to have Willie, and we're going to have some of those guys that we've seen in the spring game, right? Running some.
So, you remember the quarterback, we call him Dave.
Demarion?
Demarion Hankerson?
Yeah.
Yeah, Demarion. We
He'll
said
be doing
him.
some running back reps. Yeah.
Okay.
How about the Cousins? We're going to get to see the Cousins.
Because which ones?
Cousins.
So we got a lot of them.
I can't remember what their name. Got the same last name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, it's slipping my mind too. I wish I had that.
They had them playing in games last year when the games were out of control. And one of them's a running back, and I think the other one's maybe a linebacker or maybe a DB.
They're the ones who went to play.
Gino.
Yeah.
Oh, did they transfer?
Yeah, they ended up transferring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Ah.
It
Okay.
had something to do with them.
Oh, okay. Any of the new guys that transferred in going to make an impact?
Oh, yeah,
The guys from Santa Fe?
Definitely. Oh, quick.
Quick.
I think you'll see Duke and Torn.
Really?
We've been calling Duke's name a lot.
All right.
What's Duke's?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I think we're gonna have an offensive weapon from there too. Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah.
See that big the receiver?
Yep.
Yeah, he's
Kind
smaller,
of
but
like
he's
short and
really
really stocky.
quick.
And then you got
Malachi.
Yeah,
Malachi.
Yeah.
Malachi. And then you have Cam starting on
He
left
is
tackle.
starting tackle. And Jalen.
Yeah, and Jalen left guard.
All right. I'm worried about, I was worried about the offensive line. You sort of gave me a little goodness, a good feeling about that. How about the special teams? Kicker. Who's going to be kicking?
David Roberts.
Yeah.
Is Dayton going to kick?
Yeah.
Is he going to kick? Okay, he can kick.
We're working on it.
You working on it? Is he getting
He's
better?
getting much better.
Is he?
We're starting to call him Boot One.
A boot one? Okay, well that's what we're gonna call him too.
Boot one.
Boot one. That's what I'm gonna call him as well then. Boot one. I love that. All right. Well, hey, I know I don't know if Reese will be there. I hope he is. I hope at least he comes watching. We'll talk with him. But August the 21st, we've got our sneak peek, the tornado sneak peek over at the Downtown Grill. Chrissy's always gracious enough to host that. Dave will have it live on the spot with David Rodgers, but we'll have it live on the radio as well with Chuck Kramer and Big Kevin Howe. I think he's going to be helping out a little bit. Sheriff will be there. We'll be talking to you and a bunch of other players.
When's our preseason game?
That is the 18th.
That's what I'm saying. That's the 18th.
That's to Chiefland.
We want to make sure Chiefland got them on there. I know we
Yeah.
lost to Coy.
Yeah.
And that was a game I was looking for because Sheriff Hardwick helped coach that team.
Right.
From St. John's County. And he said, I know y'all come in lights and siren and what y'all did to us last year. He said, but that's all right. I had a trick up my sleeve. Now they ruined it because they moved them in. And they went
The 4S. Yeah,
They're a
had
brand
to.
new school. A couple thousand kids. They're no joke. They're a well-coached team.
Yeah, they are. They are.
We thought it'd be an easy one. They gave us a little pushback last year, but
Yeah.
I was ready to go back this year. And he said, we was going to stop the bus at the county line. I said, man, what? He said, I know how you come. You come in hot. I said, we do. We roll with our team.
Well, that's all right. We're going to go in hot to Miami now.
That'll work for me.
That'll work for us, won't it? Yeah, we're going to roll in hot to
All the way down the
Miami.
interstate.
Hey, that team was 9-4. They were a playoff team too last year. They won a couple of games in the playoffs. Bradford will get a test down there. I mean, I think
absolutely.
but they'll get a test down. These guys ain't no slouches, and they're about the same size guys. I was looking at their roster, if it was correct, and it looked like they was all about the same size as you guys. So, all right, yes, it should be. All right. So, one more time, what's going on August the 5th?
We got a youth camp ready for Under the Lights, sponsored by 10 and a few other people who's helping us make sure that all the kids have a free experience that they community gets to come out for. Good time.
Good time. Starts at?
6:30.
6:30. No more registration. Can't take no more because you're full. You got a full house. So Dad gonna be out there helping you out, do some things.
Yes, sir.
Your dad gonna be out there too, helping out, maybe, possibly.
Possibly.
Okay. We
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
See how he's helping.
Yeah.
So, all right, between you two guys, I know this ain't a fair question. It can't be a fair question because I don't know how much you're gonna get some playing time. Man. You gonna start?
We're looking for it.
Looking for it. It's in the works. It's in the works. You got you're working to that number one spot.
Right.
Who's gonna have the most tackles? You or him? You? Okay. Yeah. Well, you know your nickname is the Dominator now.
I got you.
All right. You know what Torrance is,
Mr.
the one-man
Bad
wrecking
Jenkins.
crew. Trente Jenkins. You need to help me come up with a name for Trente.
Fat man.
Oh, well, I don't want to say that on the radio. His mama may get me. No, I ain't saying that on the radio. Jason's already trying to get me fired. Fat man. Hey, a fat man makes the tackle. What the heck is all that? Can you imagine Mrs. Trente's mama?
Wow.
What was that, David? What was that?
You get a phone call in the move.
Woo-wee. I'd get more than that. That's a good one.
That was
Now.
for practice.
Okay. That was for practice. No. Plus, man, that kid is strong.
Oh, he's very.
I wouldn't even want to tangle with that kid, Gordon. That kid is squatting how much?
Over 600.
How much he paid you?
Don't know for sure.
I watched him do 315 for quite a few reps today.
315 for a few reps?
Yeah.
I know Torn did 315 for 4 today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And today was the day after practice.
No part of y'all young guys,
I
man.
bruise easy, man.
Yeah, but I bruise real easy. A little bit about Marshall. Tell everybody why you committed to Marshall, what you seen. We Are Marshall, great movie, of course. Great history. Great movie. I watch it about 20 times a year.
It's honestly just such a great place. Little things about, I mean, I don't know if most people might not know about all the, football stuff that actually goes into it, such as like nutrition and stuff that really changed even at the high school. That really, I'd say, made us a lot better last year. It's going to change us this year as well. But they're the first G5 school to have a training table. The whole coach staff's from Alabama. Head coach was the assistant head coach at Alabama under Coach Nick Saban. Amazing coaching staff. They're really taking place in the right direction.
Good, good.
It's good.
That's my family up there, bud.
Yeah, that's
September,
you.
family reunion.
You're gonna have to go up there and watch him play. We're gonna have to watch him play. Well, he's gonna get some television games anyway.
He's gonna be wearing
Marshall's
a lot
on
of green.
TV.
He's gonna be wearing a lot of green.
A lot of green, a lot of green.
Every game Marshall plays on
And
TV.
the school was
Yeah,
actually blessed in the 80s, by the way,
Yes, it was.
by a certain saint of football.
Say Bobby.
That's
Bobby
exactly
Bowden.
Sure was.
Yep. He helped Marshall out when that plane crash happened. You remember they went over there and that's how they started running the veer at Marshall.
He gave them a veer.
He gave them the veer.
He gave them West Virginia's offense. That he was running at that time. And yes, Bobby Bowden was the coach at West Virginia at that point in time.
Yeah.
But he gave them all the tapes and all the playbooks for it.
So, a lot of history there, man. I'll tell you, man, I'd love to go up there and see
Beautiful
that.
campus.
I hear, man, that is a beautiful
It's
campus.
great up there. It's beautiful.
It's-
The area is amazing too.
Yeah.
The area's
How-
amazing.
One of the three swinging bridges in the United States, just down the road there.
I hear that. How's the town there, Gordon? Does town surround the university, or is
Yes,
it?
it does. It does.
Wow.
It's kind of
It's
down in the
almost like
valley.
directly in the middle of
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah, it's kind of the centerpiece of Huntington. Is right, it's all right there.
Right.
It's a beautiful community of you got one of the top ranked parks. You just go park. You go walk with your girlfriend. While you're there. I mean, it's just a beautiful area. It's got a lot of history in the Appalachians. I mean, it's just a beautiful place to be. Winters get cold.
Yeah, you'll get used to that, though.
hopefully.
Yeah, you'll get used to that. So, well, congratulations
My
on
dad's
that,
buried
Marshall.
there. We buried my dad up there.
Hey.
So it's
Well, you're gonna be able to go see Jason play a
That's
couple
what
of
I'm
games,
saying.
ain't you? Yeah,
Right.
man. Shoot, Byron, we may have to make a
Excuse to
trip.
go.
We may have to make a trip up there.
Work for me.
Because I'll tell you, what I've seen on the pictures of the movie, and I know the movie, threw some things in there, but still, at the beginning and when you see the campus, I thought it was a
Look at the
beautiful
campus.
campus.
If you get a chance, just pull up to college. They got a picture where you can see it is a very nicely laid out, very disciplined school.
Yep.
Very proud historical heritage.
Mhm.
So it's got a lot going.
How many students there? How many students are there? How many students are there, you think?
Probably a neighborhood of 25.
25,000? That's a pretty good school.
What I've discovered about that cold that you're talking about
Uh-huh.
is that it's nowhere near as bad as the cold
No.
in Florida when it gets
No,
that
he'll
cold.
get
because of the
used to
humidity.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I go out west every year and it gets down to 10, 15 degrees, sometimes colder than that. And I don't ever have a problem with it as long as I got clothes on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
not
boys,
wet
I tell you,
cold.
yeah,
It's
you're
not wet.
right.
Yeah.
You got any last questions for these gentlemen, B? Got anything? David, you got anything you want to ask them?
You said it all, guys.
Gordon?
Gentlemen, I just want you to keep on hitting like you were hitting.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
I'm just ready for a new school year, ready for football season to kick
Yeah.
off. It starts off the year.
Yeah.
Just be mindful when you all start driving to work on August the 10th. I ask all family, be aware of kids crossing roads. The school buses will be stopping.
Right.
Yep.
Summer gets us all out of routine, and we get that click of getting to work on a certain time. We leave at a certain time.
Yeah.
Take a few extra minutes. Remember, school buses are going to be stopping. Kids are going to be crossing roads. Just something to be mindful of, and let's keep our kids safe.
One question on that. Is the new school opening?
No, it
10th?
won't be till the brand new school.
November, right?
November, Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
Because there's some, they was able to come in and do a few things at the last.
Yeah.
So teachers got to set it twice. If you go to South Side, then it'll be turning into Bradford Elementary, and teachers are setting up here, and then move the kids to Bradford. But hey, they're gonna give tours for the kids so they can see and pick out, where their classroom is going to be. There's some process talking to the principal, Miss Melvin, She's got some great ideas there, and it's, you know, they was excited, hoping to get to, but, you know, it's, I don't care what you're building right now, y'all.
No.
Nothing's done on time. This school was 5 years late in the starting.
Yep.
We're about a year late probably in building, and the expenses went up tenfold. Look at our economy. It is where it is.
It is what it is.
But at the end of the day, when it's like a new road, you hate it for the 2 to 3 years. Look at the overpass now opening up. Now my grandkids, we've got to ride that. You can see the lights downtown, and you can ride. It was so aggravating, but now that it's getting opened up, you say, "Ooh, it sure is nice."
Yeah, absolutely. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me. We're probably going to see you on August the 21st. Reese, I hope to be calling your name, brother. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of playing
make
time.
the hits, the nicknames will come too.
Yeah, the nicknames will also come. But I wanted to say something just before I let these guys go. And Gordon, we talked about this, Byron, we talked about this, and after that game with Coco, you know, I've seen a lot of great football players on that field that Friday night from both teams. And I told Byron and I told the community, I don't give a darn who was on that other side. I would never trade you guys for any of them. I don't care if it's Boda. I don't care if it's C.J. Bragg. I don't care if it's Hawkins. I don't care about any of those. I do care that they're good football players, but I love my guys way better. And I would not trade. I would keep Jeremiah McKenzie before I took Blake Boda. I'm telling you right now, that's the way it is. We love our guys.
We do.
Yeah, we love our guys. Hey, I can recognize great talent when I see it. And that quarterback was good. He was good. I don't know where he went. Did you find out where he went?
He went to Coastal Carolina.
Oh, Coastal Carolina. That's right. What you told me. He's probably going to get some playing time there. Some of those receivers, that one receiver didn't even play. He's an Ohio State commit. So, look, I don't care what they have. Our guys are better. And I love my guys.
You got dang right.
You daggum right. I would not trade any of my guys for them. And I'm telling you right now, I mean what I said, Gordon. If Bradford plays them 10 times, Bradford wins 6. Oh, sounds like some rain, doesn't it? I think y'all win 6. Seriously, I think the defense gels, and y'all don't give up as many of those passing yards. And I think that game, y'all win most of those games. I'm telling you, because y'all have enough offense, and y'all had enough offense to score. We showed it. You scored on them. I know you got shut out in the first half. Just didn't gel right away. But y'all did score in the second half on him. You drove the ball down the throat.
Yeah, we did.
You did. And I believe that you could do it again. So I'm looking for a great season, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking for this, Gordon, I don't know what I'm looking for that same spot or that one game, that state championship game this year. I really think that's going to happen.
I do too.
That's what you're expecting, right? That's what you talked about.
Total belief. We watched it. Now,
We watched it many times.
They may shut this offense down for a half. There is no defense in this state that's going to shut it down for 4 quarters.
No.
Because of the way they run the ball.
Yep.
Between the quarterback, the running backs, you can't stop that constantly. And when you stop that constantly, all of a sudden he sneaks out of the backfield.
Yes.
Or the wide receivers get wide open.
Oh, wide open, yeah.
And we've got a quarterback that's got an arm.
Yes, we do.
So I
wouldn't trade that quarterback, I'm telling you, for any quarterback.
Over and over and over again. We talk about this.
We talk about this all the time consistently. We've talked about this all year, yeah.
Those runs that are a half a yard and a half, 2 yards, all of a sudden they become 4 and 5 yards in the second half. Because you physically beat people.
Yep.
And that's a heck of a philosophy to have.
Please tell me that y'all, I know, hey, I know this, and I know you probably get out there and give a lick too, but I want you boys to keep hitting those licks, man.
It's going to go up some.
Is it going to go up some this year? Okay, that sounds good. You and Torin and all the boys got a pack?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's going to go good. You'll like watching.
All right, hey, we're going to like calling it. Yeah, it's all good stuff.
Good football is fun to call.
Yes, it is. Any football, but last year was especially fun.
How many times? That from my first year, by the way, guys. I really did enjoy it.
God, what a team, man. We love you guys, and we're going to see you real soon. Again, August the 5th. Hey, these guys got a camp going on. Make sure you go out to David Rodgers Stadium. 6:30 start time. 6:30 start time. Hey, concession stands will be open. We got fireworks going. All kinds of things happening. So, again, I want to thank these guys for putting that together. That shows me right there, Gordon, you were talking about the maturity of these guys and what kind of young men we have. This is what
about.
These guys right here is what it's all about, man. They do the right thing. They're progressing themselves to be better young men.
And they're paying it forward, too.
And they're paying it forward, and that's what I like. Y'all are paying it forward, Jason. If this was your idea or you guys' idea, I commend each and every one of you for that, and I'm glad that y'all are paying it forward. And what that means also is that you're going, when you go off to school and you come back, you're gonna do the same things for your community again. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so we really appreciate it. You're gonna be a junior, right? Yes, sir. You're just gonna be a junior, so you still got 2 more years in this program. Yeah, man, you're gonna be the dude, man, here in a couple of years, ain't you? I know you're excited. So
look forward to calling them.
Yeah, look forward to calling them. Jason, thank you very much.
One more thing. Once again, football season starts when, David?
Starts officially August the 25th, and that's against Baker County Wildcats.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Chiefland?
I wasn't talking about the Kitty Cats. I was talking about the other one.
Oh, you're talking about the other one?
Yes.
You're talking about Chiefland?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, on August 18th. That won't be a radio broadcast call, but we will call it live on Facebook. So we will have that. So
join us. We will broadcast that.
Absolutely, we will broadcast that.
On the spot with David
Rodgers. We sure will. So for everybody that can't come out. Guys, thank you very much. We're going to come back after we take this commercial break.
Yes, I thought it dropped
Welcome back to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am David Rodgers, right alongside the Byron Bagwell and our sheriff, Sheriff Gordon Smith, right along with the Super Dave Holland, the dancing destroyer himself. We just had a couple of good young men come through here, Sheriff. I'll tell you what.
They represent the football team well. I mean, that's kind of the discipline and all the character you're seeing coming out of our sports. Not just football, but all over what we're seeing, and it's a change in attitude that you see that changes the attitude of our campus.
I mean it, man. I'm telling you, as much as I like that Boda kid, and we gave him props, Byron. We had props all night. I don't care. I'm glad he plays for the other team, but I would not trade. I'm telling you, he knows it, and you know it, we know it. I wouldn't trade any of those guys for my guys. I said that on that broadcast after that ended. I don't care what that score says. To me, we caught a bad night. We caught a bad night, brother. And I'll tell you, if you play that game 10 times, Bradford wins 6 of them, I assure you. And I think they would have won the state championship the next week.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly, I agree with you, David.
The team Coco beat what Bradford was.
No.
Was caught in Tallahassee.
And Bo, you were talking about Boda. Boda is undoubtedly a great quarterback.
No doubt.
I'm telling you, I watched him on the field, and you have to remember me saying this, and I would never say this on the radio. This kid's so arrogant, I hope he gets hit 1,400 times. Because he was doing interviews and talking smack and doing all that stuff, and I was like,
He was.
Brazil and Clark aren't going to put up with that crap for long.
No, they didn't. And they didn't.
What happened at the beginning of the second quarter that he played for
Yes.
Well, he didn't play that part of it. The play before that caused that punt that was blocked.
Yeah.
Torrin cleaned his clock for him for about a 15-yard loss.
Yeah.
You don't talk. You look. I'm all for. I'm good. I'm a good player. But when you go into somebody else's home and they're a good football team, and you know they're a good football team, you best keep your mouth shut and play the game and play it to the best of your ability, and let that do the talking for you, because somebody is going to end up getting hurt.
Yeah, and Torrin and Chasen both laid licks on him, and I didn't think that one that was close to the end zone, remember?
Oh.
I thought where Edgecombe missed that block, you remember? And Chasen just cleaned that boy's clock. Leveled his clock for him. And I'm telling you right now, you just don't throw Bradford boys around like that. You come up here, you're going to get a ball game. You may win it. You're going to go out of here.
You got to earn it.
You got to earn it, and they earned it. I don't know what was that at the ballgame. You was down there on the field. What did their coaches and their people say about?
And like I said, I talked to them when they got there, and I talked to them and leaving and said, y'all wasn't the game we expected. They came in very cocky. Ain't no other way of saying it.
No, that's it. That's it.
He said, yeah, I said, you're going to see something tonight y'all aren't used to. Yeah, we know, yeah, but we're going to show you something. And he wasn't. That was just a coach, you know what I mean?
That's just coach, right? Yes.
You're going to see something tonight, Sheriff. I said, okay. After the game, he said, Sheriff, you gave us something we didn't expect.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? We probably need this before we went into the state championship game.
See, and that's what I thought was,
And he told me that. I mean, they were very professional. They were very gracious, you know, and when they talked to me, they weren't, you know, I didn't take it the wrong way when they came in.
Right.
I was just thinking to myself, I said, you just don't know what. Yeah, I'm thinking, I just listened because
There's a difference between a head coach saying something like that, won state titles and been in state championships, and another thing for your quarterback to stand out on the field and do what he did. Look, maybe I'm.
And I think the Swanee game woke us up to get to where we got in the season.
Absolutely, it did.
I still think we was robbed. I mean,
sure.
Robbery been committed, but look, you can't leave it on the field. I get that. I've watched too many games.
Right.
But we did, which kind of gave us that punch in the mouth to say, hey, wait a minute. And we did. Look what we picked up from there and went to the rest of the season what we got.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to go over some comments, guys. I know some people has left because I'm sure they're eating or going to bed, but Mitchell gonna share. We talked about Clovis Watson, and Sheriff mentioned him. Dave Holland Jr. says, good evening. Dwight Allen says, no faith in the officials. They screwed us for decades.
Hey, he's not lying.
No, he's not.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's not lying.
He's
talking about that 85 game. Is what he's talking about.
Yeah. Robert McGee says, pray for our firefighters. Not one of them should be losing their jobs. What's he talking about, Gordon, there a little bit? Can you get
the city's making some decisions, and like I say, I'm friends with all the firefighters. It's a professional job. They take pride in their job. They love what they do. Unfortunately, over the years, everybody wants growth. You got to have, it's tough decisions on the city commission, county commission. It's a tough way, and everybody's looking at ways to cut. Unfortunately, most times they go to public safety. Yeah. I fight it every year. I was a police chief in Stark, fought it every year. It's one of those things you got to take, and you got to take to the people, and commissioners have to make those. They're elected to make those votes.
Yeah.
And they're worth it. I mean, the Stark Fire Department's got longevity. Most of those guys have been there. I've spent a lot of time with them over the years, and they're always there, and they take pride in it, kind of deal. It's a sad time we're at. I don't know. I've got friends on both sides. I'm trying to stick with my friends in regards to, but those firemen are my friend. And when you're talking about affecting their families,
when
they take a career job, it's something that you depend on. And then now you're looking at going, who's cut, not cut, where are we going to be at in October? It's tough decisions. I mean, the city's, the police department, we picked up some good officers from them.
Right.
With Chief Johnson having to make those decisions. And I get the commission and their side of the story. I get the firemen and that side of the story. I love my community, and I want to keep my community safe. And I'll be honest with you, my house catches fire, or I'm getting old.
Sure.
When I call, they're always there. And let me tell you, the city of Stark really bailed out Bradford County, and I'm going to tell you like it is. For a lot of years, when we didn't have much, the city of Stark was the one that we depended on to respond and take care of everybody in Bradford County, to be honest with you. Because when I took over, there wasn't very many volunteers. And I can't tell you when there was a major incident, it was always the city of Stark. And now Bradford County has the full-time professional fire services. And so they're looking at balancing that out some. I don't know. I try to stay out of that really in regards to it, because it's a personal fight, not only for the firemen, but for the commissioners who have to listen to their constituents who ask those questions, and they have to answer to them. I'm glad I don't have to vote, but like I say, we're blessed to have the profession. And I can tell you, being here for 37 years, come October, that I've been through the days, I can tell you that Bradford County is way better today than we were years ago, with not only the services, because the volunteers were the backbone of this community for a long time. A lot of them got old. The younger generation doesn't volunteer like they used to, so we went to a professional service, and we got some great firemen. We got some great EMS and paramedics who decided to live here and stay here. And I can tell you, the Stark has the longevity of people that have decided to make it their home and have committed their whole entire professional life. And it's tough for those commissioners to go, okay, we got to cut. Where do we cut? Of course, we all think when they're looking at us, there's other places they could cut. I get it. in regards to, I remember losing recreation, I remember losing different things over the years, and it's a very tough situation. And I pray, you know, when I go to church, I lay my head on my pillow, I pray for the well-being of those men and women that chose this career and what they're facing. Because I would not want to be some of those that they're talking about cutting. It's tough to be. Is it going to be me? Is it going to be you? Right. Some other guys are making their decisions on their retirement. Do I go early so I save somebody else's job? Because they really care about their fellow worker. You've been going to calls and, you know, working at wreck scenes and fire scenes with this fellow person. It makes a difference. And nobody likes change.
Right.
No, nobody likes change, and it affects their lives, the stress, their families that they have to do. So I keep them in my prayers, and I ask for the community to do that. And I understand both sides of the issue. I do. And it's a tough spot.
I've got a question for you. So, you know, you're talking about this and making major decisions and the way things has got to be cut and, you know, trying to balance all this. And I know Scotty Roberts, Mayor Roberts, I know he's got a lot to deal with, him and his staff, and of course the county commissioners as well. Is there anything that you can think of from an outside perspective that we can get help from? With, in other words, like grants or help from the state, some more funding to help out the situation so the decisions that you gentlemen have to make aren't so difficult?
Well, we've been doing it for years. I can tell you the fire department, the police department, we've been living off grants and funding, and some years they're good, other years you can't get none. It's a hit and miss, and it comes down to when you go to the taxpayer and say, if you want this same level of service, this is what it's going to cost. In Bradford County, we have one assessment, it's the garbage assessment.
Right.
It's been the same way for 30-some years, that same $75. Lake Butler has an assessment and a utility tax. Baker County, you know, has utility tax and an assessment. We're the only county in that area, but I guarantee you as a commissioner, when you say I'm going to bring up a tax or an assessment or whatever it may be, they try to figure out what's the fairest. What's something where everybody pays?
Right.
If everybody pays, then we can lower our millage. If, you know, there's a lot of different ways of going about it, but I can tell you when I say, well, I'm going to raise the mill so we can keep your fire department. Everybody raises Cain until you're that person that reaches over and goes, 911, I need a rescue. 911, my house is on fire. 911, I need law enforcement. That's when they think about it. If you're not, they don't need that service. They see your car. They don't really know what you're doing, but they see it. What are they doing? I get asked those questions every day. I work for the people, and you have to have those answers. Unfortunately, the firemen probably don't get out like policemen do. We're answering calls and calls. They only go on the major, you know, wreck call, then they're sent into a station. Whereas patrolmen are patrolling, so they see us. And then you get the question of, hey, there was a fender bender, and there was 2 fire trucks, a rescue wagon, and 2. Look, when dispatcher gets that call, they don't necessarily know what they're getting.
Yeah. Right.
So they're dispatching because if it's you pinned in a car, you trapped in a car, someone that's not breathing, seconds count. So you send that.
Yeah.
I get it. I do. And we try to professionalize ourselves, and we have certain standards that we try to meet. So we try to do that. Even a lot of times we do more with less, but I say a lot of times we do more with nothing. And we have a great community that supports, and I'm interested to see how this comes out. I don't know how this plays out. I wasn't at the meeting tonight. I'm here.
Right.
In regards to it, our county's going through the same budget battles as the city, and they're trying to figure out how do we do this and be fair.
If you want to know what a firefighter does, talk to them.
Yeah.
All you got to do.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you the honest truth. Well, I pretty much go to work, and I go to the fire station, and we clean and test the equipment.
Train.
And we train. And then we make meals because they're on 24 hours.
Yep.
Right.
So they're
gotta
in a
eat.
fire station, they make meals, and is there downtime? Yes, there is. But also during that downtime, it's like what I do on call. Anytime that fire bell goes off,
Gotta
they
go.
have to get their equipment on and they have to go. And if you think it's easy to do that, ask them how much one of those fire suits weigh that they do. It's not an easy thing to do. You're talking about putting 60 or 70 pounds worth of equipment on your body, if not more, depending on what they're going in for. And they're going out to these fires, extremely hot, with all of that stuff. These people are fit.
Mm-hmm.
They exercise too. They do a very important job for us. Well, some people look at them and say, you sit there and do nothing. Of course they're going to do that. They're going to say that, but they don't understand all what they do when they're not just sitting there.
Cleaning equipment, training requirements. Yeah. There's a lot that goes into it that you don't see. It's like any job. We can all sit back and pick at jobs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've heard old teachers only work, they get a salary, they're only working 9 months out of the year. Wait a minute, who only works 9 months out of the year? Right. You know, kind of deal, because I know what they're doing in all the off time you hanging around teachers. It's a constant process, like firemen, where they're getting paid. Now, we pick at each other. That's our professional picking.
Of course,
picking,
right.
You know, they got sleepovers, we got ride-alongs, you know, those kind of things. But let me tell you something, there's nothing better relief when I need help and I call and know that somebody's coming to my house when I need help.
When you need help.
The number, let me tell you, when you take an oath of office, your priority is to do what?
Protect the people.
Protect the people is the number one thing. How do you do that? That's law enforcement, fire rescue.
Yes. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the two top priorities that are, because nothing else comes. This community will not grow without it. Okay? This community will not prosper. You're not going to have people come here if they don't feel safe. And nothing's better than knowing when I dial that number. I can remember when people fussed about 25 cents on the phone bill for going to 911.
Oh, yeah.
I've been around that long.
I remember that.
Let me read something Dave Holland Jr. said. What do they think they're going to use the money? They cut firefighter jobs, and it is more important than lives saved by the men and women that put their life on the line. And to have a two-man crew is not a good choice. Lives could be lost when waiting for backup to go into a burning building.
Absolutely.
There is. Now, there's exceptions. I hear the two-man, two in, two out, being the fire chief. I did some studying on that. There's exceptions. That's the reason policemen usually rescue more people from fires than firemen, because we're out patrolling and we arrive and we pull people out. And if it's a life-saving, you can do life-saving. There's all those factors that go in there. But at the end of the day, it's like me. One day, I got too many cops. The next day, I don't have enough. You just don't know what the next call brings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's in our reality, in our world. We don't know what the next. It's no different than a mechanic going to work on a motor and ain't got the right tool.
Right.
You can have 10 toolboxes full of tools.
That's right.
But when you go to work on something, it's that one
tool that you need.
In regards to it, so public safety has got to be first, and you see cities prosper that put public safety first. In regards to it, I understand, and I don't want to blame the commission that's sitting now, because I'm telling you, this can has been kicked down the road for 30 years.
Yeah.
It really has.
Yeah.
And now we've gotten ourselves in this pinch. Right. And they're having to make hard decisions, so it's not easy for them to have to look people in the face. I don't know of any commissioner sitting up there wants to look somebody in the face and said, I want to cut your job, because they all know they got families too. Yeah. That's a difficult damn job to do when you have to look up there and make those tough decisions. And there's a lot of other things that go in. Their power, you know, they have their own power utilities. Well, you got to have linemen, you got water, you got to have water treatment. All those factors go in there. And it's like, well, is one job worth more than the other?
See, and that's what I was...
So you don't want to take away, I'm not taking away from the meter reader, I'm not taking away from the garbage truck driver, but what I'm saying is those are commissioners that we elect to make those tough decisions. And like I say, they're not always the ones we would make. And it's easy to say that when you're not having to vote on it.
Right.
And that's tough. They're in a tough daggone spot. And I just keep them in my prayer because I don't know where it's going. I didn't go to the commission meeting tonight. I'm sure I'll find out tonight or tomorrow morning. But those people are my friends. And
absolutely.
And the Stark Fire Department, I have worked with them a lot of years as the police chief. Some of those guys are still there when I was there, and we've built personal relationships. And I can't imagine having to go home and worry every night.
Well, the other thing is if you look at these people that are on the city council and the county council, these are people that live here.
Yeah,
they know these people. They are going.
It's
to,
tough.
They're going to have to. I can't imagine having to look at somebody like that I've known, and I'm not going to say anymore that his name is Jason, and I'm a city councilor, and I have to look at him and tell him, well, I've got to catch a job, even though I've known you since elementary school.
No, you, your kids, your wife, it's tough.
Yeah.
Y'all, these are tough times that we're having to make these tough decisions. So I keep them in my prayer. That I don't know where it leads. I don't know what the outcome of it is, but I can tell you, without public safety in this community, we're never going to prosper.
No.
And going, a lot of people take this attitude now that taxation is theft. Taxation is not theft, and that's just a misquote that's been. It's legalized theft. Blah blah blah. Taxation with representation is not legalized theft. There are things in a system that's run by law that we have to have. And part of that is what Gordon does.
Public safety.
It's public safety. He's a law enforcement.
He's a law enforcement, but
he has to enforce the law. And one of the other things that the citizenry expects to happen is for there to be a fire service. There are creative ways they can get this money to run this, but the public has to allow them to do that because you're the ones that's paying for it. You're allowing them to take that money in taxation and sending it to something that you are going to benefit. You may not benefit for it right now, or you may never benefit from it, and I hope that's the honest truth with the fire thing. Because I've known people who've gone through that, and that is horrible.
Yeah.
But you still have to have them there. Because I can think of another situation. It doesn't just have to be your home. What if your car catches on fire?
Yeah.
You gonna put a car fire out?
Not likely.
No.
I have a friend that's a firefighter that I fish with, and he has described in detail the process for that. It involves jaws of life and zawzaws and stuff that I would not want to mess with to put that fire out.
Yeah.
You gonna go mess with that stuff while it's burning? No.
Y'all, it's tough decisions, and like I say, we've got to keep it in thought. In our community, the people have to look at it and say, you know, what's it worth to me?
Right.
What's it worth if my daughter or my son's in a car wreck and they got to be cut out? What's it worth to me when someone's breaking in my house or somebody wrongs me? What is it worth? What am I willing to do as a taxpayer?
Right.
And that's where elections have consequences. That's where, and here's what I find in a small community that we live in, and which is the greatest, by the way. A lot of times we vote on things because of people we like or don't like.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
And you got to take that out of the equation and say, you know what, I don't like Sheriff Smith, but that's a good idea. Or I think what they're doing is fine. But a lot of times in small towns, we dictate because whether I like them or not.
No, you can't.
Right.
And that's tough to do and sit on a county commission when you're looking at a budget and going, okay, here's where we are, here's what we can spend, who gets what, and how do we manage that? And a lot of them don't realize that when they're running for office. Then they get in that seat because they have a lot of ideas and they get there and realize government is not a business.
Right.
Government provides a service. And people say, well, they don't run it. If you run it my business, well, you can't because you're running a service. You're providing a service, not running a business for profit.
Right. And you
we
have
shouldn't
to,
be.
right, and you shouldn't be.
Well-
But you have to have, again, as you stated and Byron stated, you have to have funds to
operate.
be able to run.
We want to take our kids to the ball field.
Correct.
Yeah, we want our water turned on.
on.
We want our lights powered up. We
Right.
want our, you know, I'm on Clay Electric. The city, you pay for it. You pay for it. They provide
Right.
their own utilities. You know what? I don't know what they pay the Clay lineman. It probably ain't enough because I ain't going out in this storm.
Oh, absolutely not.
You know, I had a stepfather that was a lineman. I'm not doing any of that. That's not my.
That's not your cup of
I couldn't
tea.
be a nurse. I couldn't be a fireman. I'm not running into burning house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I say that, but I've ran in to pull people out before. You know,
Right.
when you're on scene. And I can tell you the old days when policemen would pull up, we were helping them pull hoses. We were just glad to have
Hoses,
some, use a line truck to spray water from a bucket truck. Totally unsafe. Wonder somebody to get killed. We were just fortunate. We've
Right.
become a professional service. And like I say, Bradford County was fortunate for a long time. We abused the city.
Yeah.
And I tell anybody, it's not a secret because they were everywhere in this county because we didn't have anybody else.
Right.
When the volunteers and all were fading, we had 60 and 70, year-old volunteers. It was tough. These guys were still sacrificing everything at 60. Nothing they couldn't.
Right.
But it's hard.
It's harder.
And we still had some
Yeah.
young people,
Yeah.
but not as many as we used to when we all came up. I started as a volunteer fireman.
You go grab one of those hoses and
Yeah, try
run
that.
it to a house with it.
I want to go on to some more things here before we get ready to close out the show. 8:45 Eastern Time. David Rodgers, Byron Bagwell.
Before
Gordon
you
Smith.
go into
Yeah.
that, I do want to say this. There are ways that can be fixed. One of those is, it's not really a tax. It's basically when anybody builds a new piece of, on a
Impact
piece,
fee.
Impact
it's a
fee. It's
fee.
a fee.
It's an
It's a
impact
fee.
fee. It is a very good idea to help support that because there's a lot of new building going on in Bradford County. Now, people may say that's not fair. But if you look around at these other counties, and I know
Every county.
Bradford County is the one spot that we don't have it. And I'm not talking about like what Clay County has, because you'll run people out if you do like what Clay County has. But have our people look at it and go, okay, we can get away with having all the firefighters still there if we had a impact fee on new buildings in Bradford County, this amount. And keep those people there, because we need them.
Absolutely.
And that's
we
just
need them all.
That's just
all
one
of
idea.
them.
An impact fee is just one idea. I'm not pushing for
Right.
that.
No.
But I'm saying that's one of the creative ways we could actually fund this. There are ways that it can be done without them going, okay, we're going to put a tax on land, or we're going to put a tax on gas, or we're going to put a tax on something.
Right.
There are creative ways to do it.
All right, Austin's Weather Service. I'll get to that here in just a minute. A lot of great guesses tonight. Oh, by the way, on your quotes, a lot of great guesses.
And by the way, I saw Karl Marx on there. Can anybody tell me where Karl Marx was from?
Georgia.
No, he wasn't from Georgia. God,
Was he
no.
from Austria?
Karl Marx was
I
an
got one
Austrian.
right tonight, Chief.
Hey.
Sheriff, I got one right tonight.
What is that?
Yeah, from Georgia.
Austria is a crazy place because Austria, not only it was the cradle of where music basically civilized itself, but it also had produced Karl Marx, and guess who else? Adolf Hitler.
Yep.
Mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms likely in England, and partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds and heavy rainfall in the evening. Lows in the lower 70s, so when you leave out here, Gordon, it's going to feel like 70.
Yes, sir.
East winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain 70%. We are getting rain. Wednesday, partly cloudy, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 90s. Ooh. East winds around 5 miles per hour, increasing to around 10 miles per hour in the afternoon. Chance of rain 50%. Wednesday night, Gordon, partly cloudy, a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Lows in the lower 70s. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. You're catching it right here for Austin's Weather Service. Thursday, partly cloudy, a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs around 90. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Thursday night and Friday, mostly clear. A chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lows in the lower 70s. Highs in the lower 90s. Chance of rain 40%. For Friday night, partly cloudy, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the evening. Lows in the mid-70s. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, are you catching a pattern here, Gordon?
I am.
Showers and thunderstorms likely. Highs in the lower 90s. Chance of rain 60%. Heat index values up to 105 to 107. Partly cloudy on Saturday night. Showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly in the evening. Lows in the mid-70s. Chance of rain 60%. Heat index values up to 105 and 107.
Why did you say
early
we
in
could
the
have covered the whole week? Ditto.
Well,
yeah, that's what we should have said.
Hey, does this remind you of anything, Gordon? This is what it used to do when we were kids all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has recycles. You know, we had ice ages. We had all these different things, and we talk about that's a whole other show. But
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you our chances for rain here right now is 100%.
It's 100%. You hear it, don't you?
I hear it.
Yeah.
And what do I normally say?
Side.
It's going to rain.
It's going to
It's
rain.
going to rain.
JB's word of mouth is full of keyboard warriors. But Dwight Allen, 100% on that. I've noticed the majority of the people who complain about law enforcement are criminals or have criminals in their family. Yeah. Well, I can't agree with all that because that's for another show. My parents must have loved me to death. Lots of last minute I'm gonna say. Patrick Kennedy, you can go to FSU.
You go there when you can't get in nowhere else.
Oh boy, here we go. Gene McKenzie, we can't do it without great radio announcers as well. Thank you, Gene McKenzie. We really appreciate that. And we enjoy what we do. If you didn't hear it on that opening, I'm telling you right now, Gordon.
I love this show. I love this show.
Yeah, I thought you were.
I'm too excited to say things I shouldn't. You kept always shut me down.
Yeah. Well, we would say
Gordon,
together.
you're always welcome to fill in.
Absolutely. As a
One of
matter
us
of
are not
fact, why
there.
don't you be our guest at halftime on the first game?
Let's do it.
All right, so you're our halftime guest.
At Baker?
Here.
Oh.
Here. It's
Yes,
here.
here.
Yes, here.
It's here,
So,
folks.
yeah, you'll come up to the press
Oh,
box.
the Baker County.
But, you know, besides this show, and they're mad because we beat them twice last year.
I don't care.
I don't care. I don't remember. When was the last time we
Again.
beat Baker County twice in a season? Do you ever know of that? Twice in a season.
Back-to-back years, yes, but twice in the season.
No.
And
they're going to be out for blood. They're going to have a pretty good football team.
Make it three in a row because I have had enough of them through the years that I don't.
Yeah.
want to
Now
see
I will say,
anymore.
Byron, they're going to have a good football team, but I think my Bradford boys are just going to beat them.
We're going to have better.
Yeah, we're going to have better. Thank you, though. We appreciate that. It's one of my favorite gigs. Do want to find, and we love this too. But
I can't wait.
good night, brother. Man, I wish it would stay in the 70s. TA, man, yeah, absolutely. NASA rocket launches tonight. Oh.
Not in this, they won't be.
No, I don't think so. No earlier than August 1st, 2023, 8:31 p.m. Eastern Mission, North Grumman's 19th Commercial Resupply Service mission to the International Space Station.
If it's doing,
yeah.
Volusia.
G. McKenzie, which is Jeremiah's dad, says, go Tornadoes, love them. We do too. Go Big Red, looking forward to another great season.
Absolutely.
I say they make it to the state this year, Mitchell says. I think so. Man, something tells me, man. Now, I will say, Gordon, I don't know. I look at the schedule. If they play with the way they're supposed to and the way they're coached, and Coach Rodgers and his staff puts the plan together, honestly, man, I don't see them losing the game. I don't, not until they get to the state championship. I don't see them losing one.
The only game that I'm concerned about is that Miami game.
Yeah.
Because of the travel and everything. Okay, all right. And they were a playoff team. They're probably a pretty good football team. So they are. So look, we'll see. But
even if we lose it and we play
it doesn't matter.
and they win the game by 2 or 3 points or
right
4 points or something.
It's not a district game for us anyway. We traveled. They're going to look at that. The playoff committee's going to look at that and say, hey man, they took a game 5.5 hours away from their hometown in the middle of the season and went down there to play that team. So that's going to get some kudos for them as well. Great show. Thank you, Ms. Bagwell. Say hey to Ms. Bagwell.
We're going to go the night before, stay at South Beach or something.
Yeah, we should. I think we ought to. We're going to do that. Yeah, we should. We're going to do that, Byron. Mitchell Gunner says, great show. All the players said we gave them the best game they played all year to include their coaches.
We're too old for that nonsense.
That's what you heard, right? Yeah, that may not go. But that's what you said. You reiterated what all those guys said, and even their fans, when I seen them going out,
They were all
like,
respectful.
yeah, they was like, uh-oh. We came up 3.5 hours, 4 hours for this?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. And you earned it on the way out of there.
Welcome to Downtown Star.
Yeah, that's it. Tornado country. Good evening, guys, and Sheriff Smith, Judith Young says. Sorry I'm late. I had errands at the commissioners' meeting this evening where I spoke on behalf of the fire department. I'm sure you did, Judith, because you spoke the last time. G. McKenzie said, we love our Sheriff Gordon for president. Oh, we love our Sheriff Gordon for president. Brother, you have what it takes.
I know what day it is. I couldn't be president.
Shirley says she missed the first 45 minutes tonight.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, yeah.
She was baking us a cake.
She was baking us a cake.
Her and Dad were off in Lake City, Galveston.
Mitchell's got a good point here. Mitchell says Bradford wins that game by 17 points if they play again.
Oh, you talking about
Coco?
Coco? Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, I love our boys, man. I'm telling you right now. That's all the comments that I said. Did you see any more? Oh, wait a minute. We're going to win in Miami. Don't worry. That's Dave Holland Jr. says
I'm
that.
okay with that.
I'm all right with that, too. So,
as long as they stay focused.
Yeah.
And they don't get down there in Miami.
We got to go early and acclimate.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's hard to roll over the last minute and get off a bus?
Do you think he's going to have to spend the night, the Thursday night before? Is that the plan? Have y'all talked about that a little bit?
I've not talked about that. I had any
Okay.
conversation. I mean, I would recommend it and take monitors, make sure the kids are where they're supposed to be.
Right.
And I've been off with the teams before.
We can help monitor too, brother.
There's ways to do that.
Yep.
It's hard to drive 5 hours, 5.5 hours according to traffic when you get to Miami on Friday.
Yep.
Too many unknowns. You get on 95,
you can forget it.
on Turnpike, you better leave 10 hours early because every time you drive 75 or 95, you got to add 30 minutes to an hour according to how far you're going.
Yeah.
Because there's always an accident, there's always a traffic jam. Just get down to 75 or you get on the turnpike even going. I mean, it's gridlock now.
Well,
It slows you down in traffic. It's every day in Florida now. Everybody wants to go.
Everywhere between St. Augustine and Daytona, and all that mess that they've created right there at the construction at 4. I mean, that's a god awful mess.
We've got to look at that. I don't know what the coach has planned for that.
Right.
I would recommend.
He's probably going to get with you.
So we
right?
get out evening, get everybody tucked in, get them up early, get them fed like we normally
That's what
did.
I'd like to do.
I think, but if not, we have to leave early that morning because you can't say it's a 5.5 hour ride.
No.
5.5 hours could be 7 or 8.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Sitting on a bus, air conditioned or not. Now they weren't air conditioned when we rode.
No, but
you
it
sit
doesn't matter.
on that bus, it does something to you physically, mentally.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're gonna have to find us a good buffet too, ain't we? Country like
I'm a buffet boy.
yeah, hey, good breakfast for our boys. Good breakfast for our boys.
What are you doing? I've got.
You know you got one?
Connections in Miami, and I just know some really good Cuban restaurants in Miami.
Oh, that's good.
Well, that's good too now.
Oh man, now
Yeah.
it'll depend on how far away we are from.
Yeah.
This
Where
is
it's
actually in
They only
Miami.
got 300 high schools there.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, I think this is Hialeah. It's really
It's
not-
Hialeah, I
it's
think,
not
David.
really
Yeah, it's
Miami.
Hialeah,
This
yeah.
is actually in
Hialeah,
Miami
yeah.
that I know where these places
Yeah.
are. And I know a retired command sergeant major that would probably
Help us out.
I'm not talking about that.
Can you speak Spanish?
I can't, but he can.
Yeah.
I'm bilingual, but it's English and profane. So.
English and profane. All right, 8:58. Well, we're going. Okay, yeah. So, hey, 8:58. Hey, it's been a great show. One quick question for you. Look at your calendar. Are you gonna be able to come? Can you come back next week? Or you got something going?
Let me see. It's getting ready for school that week, but let me look.
Yeah, that'd be Tuesday.
I can come back. That's
So-
the 7th?
Yeah.
No, that's the 8th.
Oh, that's the 8th.
Back to school interview in the morning at the radio station.
Uh-huh.
No, I got a banquet that night. I got the Pink Lady Auxiliary Banquet.
You got the Pink Lady Auxiliary
We have
Banquet.
their auxiliaries. Those Pink Ladies do a bunch in our community. When the
Yeah,
hospital
we need-
closed
yeah.
down, all we got is kind of an urgent care center now. We
Where's
brought
it
them
gonna be
over.
at?
They do our elderly call in. A shout out. If you got a loved one, we just dealt with it again a week or so ago. A lady had fallen and maybe we'd been able to call and get her in time. If you have a loved one that doesn't get out much, our Pink Ladies do a call in every day. They have a relationship built.
okay.
If they're going to the doctor, they need something, they do that. They call our victims. They do a lot at the sheriff's office. They have really brought that motherly figure to all of the young staff.
Yeah, I like
And,
Who
they
heads
do
up your
a
Pink
bunch.
Ladies? Who's
Linda K. John?
Yeah, Linda K. Yeah, Linda
They
K.
got her, but there's a bunch of
Linda K.
ladies. Miss Olivia Scott, Lawdy, that going to
Yeah,
graduate
Miss Olivia
school.
Scott, yeah.
Mayor Scott's her husband there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's a bunch of phenomenal ladies that are involved in that. But they just donate a bunch of stuff to EMS, bags and stuff. They're looking at doing the tourniquet kits for us, which are very important. I did here about a year ago when I got out on a motorcycle wreck. I had to use my belt as a tourniquet till the deputy could get there. But they're looking at purchasing a tourniquet for not only us, the city of Stark and Lawdy, so the first responders can have a tourniquet. We've had a deputy we got on video. If you go to our Facebook, it shows one of our deputies in a crash placing a tourniquet on. Those kind of things, those are lifesavers now. We never had in the past, and they're starting to wear them on their belt. They're buying the case and the holder. They're making a donation, but those Pink Ladies do so much within our organization to give back. They do a lot of fundraising. You see them at the fair.
Oh, yeah,
Always
yeah.
go by and do that, but they do a lot of others, and they take that money and they put it right back in our community. What they've just done for, like I say, if you
That's
talk
a
to
good
Chief
thing.
Ben Carter, what they did there for purchasing new bags, and old beat up bags, they took
Yeah.
the thing. Now they're looking at us for tourniquets. What can you do? You know, it's a couple $1,000s, $2,000. We don't have budgeted that we can spend for that. They're putting back to make sure we're helping serve our community.
Where's the banquet at? Where's the banquet at? Where's that gonna be at?
Now you put me on the spot. So that's what you call on the spot?
That's on the spot. Yeah, no pun
I'm
intended.
speaking,
No pun intended.
At the Women's Club.
At the women's club.
Yes.
All
We're doing
right.
that night at 6 p.m.
Are you
so
cooking?
If I'm cooking, ain't nobody coming. They're serving, but, so
Yeah.
Pink Ladies do a bunch, but if you have an
Yeah.
elderly person that you need to have them called every day, these people pick up a phone, they come in, they get
I
the
like
list,
the
and they
Pink
call.
Ladies.
So if you got a loved one you care about, and it's just that daily check. If they go to the doctor or something, we follow up, we send somebody to the house.
Yeah.
If nobody shows up, they walk in our comm center and say, hey, we couldn't get a hold of Miss Smith. We've tried, we don't have nothing on here. She didn't say she was going to the doctor, she didn't. But if you care about your mother or something and you're not able to contact them physically every day, this is a phone call, because we just dealt with it again. Every couple of years we have that person that has been there for days before they're found, and we breached the door and found them deceased, unfortunately. But I can tell you we do have a happy story with that. One time we couldn't get the call. They sent us. The lady had fallen in between the bed and the nightstand and could not get up. I've fallen and I can't get up, literally. And she had one of those push-button monitor bracelets, but it fell back behind her neck. She couldn't get up. And she laid on that cold floor for hours, but we got there, and she lived several more years healthy and going. So there are positive that. I don't care if it's your mom and your dad, whoever.
Yeah, whoever.
You're going out of town and you got to go somewhere and you're leaving them for a month, or you're not able to call and check on them physically every day. You love them, maybe they don't want to talk to you every day.
Right.
Let us put them on the list.
And let the pink ladies do it.
It's more of a social contact.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Sylvia Tatum, is she on the pink ladies too?
I have not seen no, sir.
No, okay. I know she's big into some things like that.
And for those of you that don't know Olivia Scott, if you are our age, you really do know Miss Scott.
Yes.
Miss Scott used to be one of the librarians at high school.
Yes, she was. I spent a lot of time in the library. I wasn't allowed to stay in class. So she made me get my homework and all done, and I graduated. Her daughter became Dawn became a pharmacist, and I came a poor old cop. So you can tell who smarter than was.
Well, both of y'all are smart. Anyway, it's not. Yes, you did. It's 9:02 Eastern time. I'm going to shut the show down. Gordon can't be with us next week, but we'll check the week after.
Yes.
And we'll see. He's going to be our guest, halftime guest. Of course, he's involved in the pick'ems. By the way, guys, that I've won 2 years in a row. I put it all in pen. Byron, you can write it down this year. 2 years in a row. You throw the bullcrap card out there?
No, I trust you.
You trust me? Okay.
I trust you.
Yeah, I did. I did win that. Now,
I'm on a horseshoe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now I wouldn't have beat Jeff Udi if Udi, would just turn his picks in every week. But he does have some good picks.
Tennessee can't win every week.
Well, no, they can't, and he wants to write Tennessee down, but he likes Fruit Roosters, and what's the other thing he likes?
No.
Are you sure you don't want to go there?
No.
Okay, no, you don't want to go there? All right, well, we'll hear his picks. We'll hear Udi's picks this year. So, yeah. But Gordon will be up there with us at halftime. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in school.
Gordon up there at halftime with us every single game so he can make sure that what you're doing with those pick'ems is right.
Is that right, buddy?
Yeah, I do.
Is that right? Well, you and Big Kevin is up to some kind of shenanigans each and every week that y'all throw me in. If you hear those radio promos, hey, the people will tell it. You and Kevin are involved in some shenanigans.
There's a very special place for that cat if you keep on messing
You've hijacked the Baker County Wildcat. You took the Cocoa Tiger, and I don't know, you put him in the back of the radio station and blamed that one on me. You threw some kind of animals in the back of my seat of my car and tore the seats all up. So what do y'all got planned this year for me? I can't afford you guys.
I don't know, but I'd look out for feathers on top of somebody's head the first game if I were you.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh, that sounds like a challenge. All right, on behalf of our producer director, Super Dave Allen, the Dancing Destroyer, Byron Bagwell, our host. Also, thank you for joining us. It's Gordon Smith, Sheriff Gordon Smith, and Jason Clark and Reese Wainwright. They were great interviews.
Man, they were great. Great young men.
Great young men.
Great young man come from great
I would love to hang out with those guys. If those guys wanted to go out to eat, to dinner or something, I wouldn't mind taking those young men.
No,
shoot, man. Hey, do you hear? Yes, sir, no, to all of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir, no, sir. Yeah. I can tell that's Jimmy in there, but still, and Joe, I can see that. But it's him, too. It's him wanting to take responsibility for his actions. And I can see the Wainwright kid is the same way.
Well, he got a mean dad. He had.
Well, yeah.
I know what his daddy do for him.
Yeah, I think that's why he looked at me when I said that. Is your daddy going to help coach?
We worried about him for a while, but yeah. But we know his mama runs the house, so we know.
Well, when you have that from a young age,
that's all you know.
That's all you know.
That's all you know.
And if you're taught, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and you're taught that you do what your parents tell you to do, then you don't have all of this.
You're right. But those two young men are the epitome of Bradford Tornado football. That's what we got. We got several other young men as well. We're going to meet on August the 21st when we do our sneak peek show.
Absolutely.
So we will get to meet all these young men, all the coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Rodgers got a really good program going over there. I hope he stays here and forever. man, he's instilled discipline in this team, Gordon. And look, man, you know, I've been doing this since 2015 now, and as far as the radio work, you know, we've made the playoffs each and every year. I've been fortunate with that. You know, Terry had some down years, and Terry was a wonderful.
Get your red seat tickets.
Get your red seat tickets, as Byron said on the promo.
Nobody's heard that yet.
Well, I think he played it this morning.
Oh, did he play it this morning?
I think he did. I think he did. But
I got mine.
You got yours? Where's yours?
Mine and the wife right here.
Uh-oh, look at that pretty card. Look at there. You bought it for the whole season?
I always do. Look here, it's got a schedule on the back.
Oh, man, look at there.
Baker County, Baldwin, Middleburg, Eastside, Quincy, Monroe, Keystone. They're going to have a tough team this year. They got a great local kid coaching.
Yeah, Stephen Reynolds.
Stephen Reynolds. Oak Leaf, Decoy Creek was now been changed.
To Miami.
To Miami, so we're going to Miami on October.
Yeah, and the only other change is the Monroe game. We're going LaCanto's coming here.
And we'll write the name of that Miami team down so everybody will know who
it's an academy.
And who will know this so they can look up information if they want to. I cannot remember the name of it. There's so many
something like that. What are you going to say, 300?
Get you a couple red seats. It's not that expensive. It supports the team. And if you can't come, if you're a business, give them some of your employees to go to the game and bring them back. Give them to your grandkids and get the gamer back. If they want to go so they can get in the gate, it's an easy way to support the team. It's not that expensive. I think they were $70, $75 a piece. You know what I'm saying? But it gives
all that money goes to the Booster Club, doesn't it?
$75 on worse.
Yeah, me too. I saw it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been a great show. Love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for joining us. You can go back and watch the replay on Facebook tonight right after this show, or you can wait till YouTube tomorrow, as Austin Stevens will be putting that up on our YouTube page. That's where Gordon
Click and like it. Click and like
it, please, yes. And that's where Gordon goes back and watches a lot of our shows when we have him, when he can't be here or he's got something going on.
It's easy to look up. I watch YouTube all day because you can catch all your news headlines.
All your news,
I'm a DIYer and I love to cook, so that's where I go on there and find new recipes. And then if I'm trying to fix something, as I did when I pulled up here, my truck had a crazy thing on.
Right.
I YouTubed it, reset it, and now I'm good to go.
All right, so, you know, me and David's been talking to you. We got it when Stephanie gets over all this. Remember, we still got to have a cooking show at your house. Me and Stephanie's got to cook. It's been a while since we talked about that. And I was going to hit Stephanie up, but I knew she had this stuff going on. But when all this stuff clears up and everything is good, well, we're going to do a cooking show for Chef Gordon Smith's house.
You got
it. Let's see what we can cook up.
He said last year he cooked, or that 1 year.
1 year, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
it
was real. Yeah, it was real good.
So we're blessed. We love to cook. Of course, grandkids are there every night.
Oh God, yes.
So she likes country fried steak. She does a great country fried. I like chicken and dumplings. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. With that's just old mama recipe.
You're speaking the language.
Turnip greens. I've got a bunch of mess I'm fixing that I've cleaned, and I'm fixing to cook me some mustard greens, some ham hocks. You know, and vinegar sauce. I make vinegar sauce with the peppers. But I like to do that, and you just to come up with something new. Sometimes you're sitting there going, "Okay, what am I going? I got this list. What am I going to cook before it expires?" You do too, but you find it out. Try new things. Some things not so well. Other things do well.
Hey, you got to try though. Mustard greens.
My son, let me tell you, started cooking fried spam, frying the spam. Let me tell you something, y'all. That's become a delicacy for. Now, here's the problem. Spam's more expensive than steak anymore.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That little can, $4 and something cents. Now, I will say this. We have, and me and Shelley has done this many a time. We fry spam, and then what I'll do is I'll take and toast the bread.
Yes, sir.
And then put that in between there with some mustard.
Make your tongue slap your brains out.
Sure will. Let me tell you what, man. Spam. I'll eat it all the time. And your son's got a great.
He started doing it for whatever. My wife got addicted to it. But just little things. We love to cook and family time. You know, get to celebrate and friends. Friends are family to me. If you got, I got friends that are close.
Absolutely.
You know, you've been around my bunch.
Absolutely.
And we all like to cook. Well, baby boy don't do a whole lot, but now Jason and Rusty, my son. Baby boy never had to. He got spoiled.
Now Jason, let me tell you what, he can slap some ribs, can't he, brother?
They usually cook for somebody about every weekend, every other weekend.
The White Allen can too. All them boys, they're all in his.
But that's your benevolence. That's their benevolent.
Yeah.
That's their way of benevolence. Is being around each other, and they feed off each other.
Yeah, they do.
One's going to outdo the other. My buddy Raymond runs the road. My wife always talks him into cooking the cowboy beans.
Yeah.
You know, and
really good.
We'll eat 2 or 3 meals off of
And
it.
who's my buddy there that does the cornbread, the Mexican cornbread? Jay, is that his name?
Jay does the Mexican
Ooh,
cornbread.
you remember that? Oh my God!
That Mexican cornbread is good.
When we do that, boy, I'm gonna tell you right now.
David,
That
I don't need to
cornbread
say
is the
what I-
best I've ever tasted. Jay, I don't know if you're listening or somebody can. I'm
Ask
telling.
him.
No, they're all in the
Next time
kitchen.
you're at the house, ask him.
Well, that's true.
All you gotta do is ask him. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to say what I was about to say, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So
Nobody's watching anymore. They're in the kitchen.
they're in the kitchen. Yeah, we lost them all. All right, guys. Good night. Y'all have a great night. Rest of the night. Keep safe from the weather. Keep safe from the heat. Have a great rest of the week and a weekend. And we'll be back next Tuesday night. Same bad time, same bad channel, 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live.
And guess what?
What?
We will have no guess what Jeff says on the show.
True.
No.
No?
No.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
I was trying to get you safe through.